the airport precinct.
The immediate area has been evacuated as emergency services deal with the incident. So we're asking members of the public to please avoid the area if possible, as there will be increased emergency services activity coming in and out of the airport area.
Back in January, a learner pilot crashed on takeoff at Parafield, nosediving into the runway and starting a fire. A Westlakes mother who shaved her son's head and pretended he had cancer has been jailed for her cruel and manipulative crimes. 45-year-old Michelle Bodsar tricked her family and community into believing her 6-year-old son had eye cancer and requested donations for his ongoing treatment. She pleaded guilty to 10 counts of deceiving another to benefit herself and 1 count of engaging in acts to cause harm to her son. The judge said it was a form of child abuse, sentencing her to a non-parole period of 2 years and 4 months, backdated to December 2024. She'll be eligible for parole in a year. Well, there's a strong chance interest rates will increase next week on the back of high inflation numbers. More from Michael Packy.
Inflation has climbed to 4.6% for the year to March, the highest level since 2023. The result takes into account the first full month of the conflict in the Middle East, which has pushed up fuel prices. Treasurer Jim Chalmers is warning households the situation is likely to get worse.
Treasury's expectation is that inflation is likely to peak higher than this.
The opposition's Tim Wilson says the government can't blame the Iran war for the problem, arguing spending is also an issue.
The jump in inflation is the largest of any major advanced economy.
Most analysts believe the chance of an interest rate hike next week is now a certainty as the Reserve Bank tries to tame the inflation dragon.
The Prime Minister has reiterated calls to turn down the temperature after protesters disrupted an event he attended in Perth today. 3 anti-gas activists climbed the stage minutes before Anthony Albanese delivered a keynote address. The gatecrashers were quickly escorted out of the venue. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted again, this time accused of threatening the life of Donald Trump with a social media post. He's facing 2 charges relating to a post of seashells in the shape of the numbers 86 and 47. 8 and 6 is a slang for getting rid of something, and Donald Trump is the 47th president. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gazman Flash Sale event is on now. Up to 50% off selected styles. Shop in store or online now.
Todd Marshall is set to return for Port in Friday's Showdown. He missed the win over Geelong with illness. And Port Adelaide's Mitch Sado has accepted a 2-match ban handed down by the Sandford Match Review panel following round 4 for rough conduct. He has since entered concussion protocols. Western Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge says their horror run of injuries will help build resilience within the club. Cooper Sharman has signed a 2-year contract extension with St Kilda until at least the end of 2028. And in tennis, second seed Alexander Zverev has advanced to the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner. Book now.
Afternoon, a couple of breakdowns to keep an eye on for the drive home this afternoon. One at Aldgate on the freeway in Mount Barker Road, but no great delays through there. Another one at Croydon. This one's on South Road near Regency Road, and we're pretty slow right now, Marion Road at Marion. Getting busy, Tapley's Hill Road, Glenelg North with the camera, Tusmore Avenue, Leabrook. Adventures await with exceptional offers across the Mercedes-Benz SUV range. Visit your nearest Mercedes-Benz retailer today. Terms and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 28, the same on Friday, and then Saturday, 29. Right now it's 27 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, jail for an Adelaide mum who faked her son's cancer for donations. His dad speaks for the first time. Firefight in the Adelaide Hills. An historic Hahndorf restaurant burns. Inflation at a 3-year high. Pressure now on for a 3rd rate rise next week. Plus the new Alzheimer's drug that cleared brain plaque in 6 months. 9 News. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. Adelaide's only local sports show. The 5AA Sports Show.
Coming up, Showdown selection headaches as Port and Crow's big names become available. Jimmy Bartel takes aim at AFL House and the state of the game, plus former AFL umpire Dean Margetts. And where are they now with an inaugural Crow?
Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, thanks, Sam, and thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Be a part of the show, 8223 0000. Just off the top, the Parafield Airport accident. Please avoid that area, Main North Road, Kings Road. Very serious incident there, and our thoughts with all the families connected. Just keep listening to 5AA for updates. We'll make sure that you're right across everything. Mel Usher in the newsroom, and I'm sure she'll come in here at times to bring us up to date with what's happening there. Stephen Rowe, welcome to Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's only 2 sleeps to Showdown,
I know.
can you believe?
We're getting there. And I said to Stacey, this is escapism now. You know, all these heavy news, again, our thoughts with the families, no question about that, but keep listening to 5AA. Mel will be all over it. But yeah, 2 more sleeps, Showdown 59.
Incredible.
I'm going to say this, be wary of the wounded bear or the fox that's cornered.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an absolute given.
That's a given.
The books still say Crows are short favourites.
Yeah, I think so. What are we at to now, $1.32?
$1.52, I think it was. Yeah,
we've drifted again.
$1.52. No, it was started $1.57, something, $1.52. It's not much, but the point is that, you haven't been able to get it together, but you played one of the best teams of the last 3 years, so that's the measuring stick, no doubt, Brisbane. So I'm still looking forward to a really competitive game. I mean, unfortunately, last Showdown was just a disaster for Port Adelaide. You guys absolutely smacked us by 98 points. So if that's not still stinging in their ears, I'll go he.
That'd be the biggest margin, wasn't it?
You were away, I think.
Was I?
Yeah, I think, Did you have that wedding or something overseas? Or
what was I?
What I reckon?
How did I?
I reckon Rowey was away.
Or was I sick again? Did I have a running nose that went to my throat?
Can't remember. No, let's not say that, but... Yeah, I think you weren't.
Well, I will
attendance.
be there Friday with bells on it. Cannot wait, live on AA.
Spot on. A couple of weeks ago, we were at Gather Round, and we had Andrew Dillon on, and I had a good 10 minutes with him over the AFL rule changes to NGA and father-son and the like.
We had him for 11, and you spent 10 minutes on that.
Oh, that's not true. But I did want to have my piece on it because I just felt it was slipping away, and they were going to make a big call on at least 3 clubs, but as we're sort of finding out and hearing, it's not just on...
It's going to impact all of us.
Well, a lot of clubs that have already made deals last year.
That's exactly
because they're planning for the entry of Tassie. That's where everybody thought it would chop off, because when Tassie come, we know that the draft's going to be really compromised, as it was with GWS and Gold Coast when they came in. So you're going, okay, let's get ready for them. Not in 5 months. So not happy. Jen and our Brekkie team spoke to Koshy this morning about it.
We're furious, and now to change the rules so dramatically like this and bring them in just months before the draft rather than like the NFL do and major sporting organisations around the world, they ease them in over a year or over 2 or 3 years. We just bring them in, bang.
Yeah, and... it's pretty much what everybody's been saying. You've got to give list managers 2 to 3 years for their planning and the like. They just have ignored all of that. Now, if you flipped it and said this was Gold Coast and Brisbane that were in this window right now, I don't think it would happen. And normally we accuse the AFL of being Victorian bias, but this isn't a Victorian bias at all. This is about they've looked after very well the northern clubs with their academies and their NGAs and their father sons, but they have not done this any justice whatsoever.
A couple of things for me. The AFL should never, ever make a rule or do a change to anything that's going to disenfranchise or harm one club over another. And that's what they've done here. This should be never rule for that. So that's number one. Number two, we had Eddie
Maguire last night,
who was the president of Collingwood for quite some time.
Years.
We said, if this was Collingwood today, what would have you done? And he said that AFL house would still be burning.
Yeah.
Have you got someone at your club that's going to be the Eddie Maguire and just go bunting? You can still get this reversed.
Well, it's got to be a chairman, doesn't it?
It has to be. Is he strong enough to be your Eddie Maguire and go, this is not happening?
I'd like to see what's happening now. Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge, he actually weighed in on this. Have a listen.
So this is another one. We're making a change on the run. Eastern Seaboard and Northern Academies that have been going on for the last 10 years, there's clubs complaining about getting their own. It's just we have to strip it all back and get it right. The inequities in the draft system needs to be sorted out, and that's just one isolated thing that's happened recently. So it's there's some bigger challenges ahead for City Hall. I just hope they engage someone, like a Peter Jackson, who can go in an independent way and say, hey, have a think about this is what we've got to do, and if we have to go back 10 years to make the game better, let's do that.
Who's Peter Jackson? That was a good cigarette, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yeah, true, and now a clothing
and
store
clothing
as well.
store.
So, yeah,
Former Melbourne CEO, businessman.
Yeah.
God, he's done it all, hasn't he?
Well, he obviously knows him and probably knows his credentials. But
he is spot on what he said.
Yeah, I understand where he's going with it. And
100%.
Just not right. Look, I'd expect something to come out from all three clubs because I think that the way to weigh in on this is try and get as many clubs behind you. And those that are affected in deals that they did last year, thinking that this was going to be grandfathered down the track to Tassie.
So Carlton have already come out with a statement today positioning themselves. Our club's position has been absolutely clear for any proposed rule changes. They had to come with appropriate runways as to not disadvantage specific clubs, and went on to say this was the only appropriate and truly equitable way to implement such changes. However, today's discretionary decision by the AFL has gone against this, with full knowledge it would disadvantage certain clubs more than others, which no AFL change to the rules should.
And don't give me that 10% discount talk either. All right, because as somebody texted last night, Timmy, you can get 10% at Bunnings even. So it's just not a discount.
Well, they price match.
Yeah, well,
that's
even
worse.
Well, I'm
so
telling you now,
get nothing really.
The increase and the penalty is a 10% discount is not cutting it. I'm sorry. So
you need Koshy to pull his big man pants on, to get his hairy chest out like John Olsen did.
An old hairy chest game.
He needs to go bunter.
Got to try and stop this. Anyway, we'll see what can come of that. The Showdown is on, as you mentioned, and in that, and I don't think this was manufactured or managed at all, Mitch Georgiades is going to play a 100th game in a Showdown.
How good.
Have a listen.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Obviously honoured to play 100 games, and it's been a great journey, and hopefully many more to come, and to play in front of a Showdown. It's obviously one of the biggest games in the calendar for the year, for the club and for the state, so very excited.
Yeah, so...
well done, Mitch. I love watching
It's an away Showdown. So definitely not manufactured.
and he's getting better and better.
Oh, mate, he's had...
If he kicks...
4 goals, 6, and he went one out in the full.
He kicked 6-4 this week. Port win.
Yeah, well, it's a big number, and you don't often have 10 shots at goal. But yeah, look, he's playing really good footy, and I think it's more so about the way we're playing as well, trying to get it in there to him. So
I'll get Nick Murray right on him because Nick's very athletic as well and quick. That'd be a good matchup.
Have they matched up before? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, right.
Or if he's deep, it might be Butsy. Butsy's very good body work. His early body work and prep is very good, Butsy.
Yeah, and he's prepared to be a glove, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. Well,
like a glove.
Look forward to it.
Good duel, that one.
The Showdown rivalry itself, well, Mitch said, yeah, it's still alive and well.
Oh, yeah, they're a quality outfit. We know exactly what they can bring, and it's a Showdown week, so it doesn't matter where you are on the ladder or who's in good form, it's always close. So I'm looking forward to the contest on the weekend. I think it's always got some ferocity. I'm not sure if they'd ever left, and with Kari at the helm, I think he's probably at the forefront of ferocity and playing in Showdowns, and so I'm looking forward to going out there again.
He's 10-0, Josh Carr. The Josh Carr effect, I'm going to call it.
Oh, well, let's wait. So we haven't got there yet. It's Friday night.
I'm trying to talk you up.
I do like it, yeah. And I'm avoiding it. I'm avoiding it like no tomorrow. Exactly right.
When am I going to get you to bite?
Like it. Hey, what about Dan Curtin? They've already basically anointed. He's in. He's back.
Yeah, well, I say he will play. He's fit. He got through the game, which is terrific. I'm not putting him in the midfield this week. I think put him back on the wing, familiarity for him.
Oh, it's midfield.
Well, it was same, but not in the centre square. Not load him up. Put him on the wing. He's familiar with it. Get goal to goal line. Do what he did last year. I'm happy with that.
Do you know how many minutes he played last week or not?
He played played all 4 quarters. Limited like he didn't play 90 minutes or 98. Okay, I think it was around 82 or something. But he played all 4 quarters, 18 touches. He did all he had to do to get through to get a game. Him and Soligo, straight in.
Straight back into the lineup. We'll see what selections tomorrow night, 5:50. We'll get the teams, won't we? So that'll be happening. Ben Keys, one of the leaders out there, he said it's great to have him back.
Really excited. Yeah, he's been incredible in his rehab. He's attacked it. He's so important to our group on and off the field. You saw his form last year. He really flourished into, one of the next sort of stars of the competition. So it'd be great to have him back out there. And he's done a mountain of work as well.
So he's excited, which is great. Anybody else might come into that lineup?
Oh, well, you heard my 5-5 yesterday. I'm rucking Thilthorpe as the second ruck, which means Maley and Toby Murray will go back and work their craft in the sample. I think Edwards will make way for Soligo. Curtin will come in. We know that. Alex Neil-Bullen's straight in. Knee, fine. 1 week rest. There's 3. If Fogg's right, I'm playing him.
That's a big one.
Well, they didn't train today. They'll train tomorrow. If he gets through, I'm playing him.
You normally hear something out of the journos that go down about...
Well, the journo inverted commas talk, is he's not right.
Yeah.
But if he is, I'm playing him.
Okay. We'll see how that
Straight
one rolls out.
Yeah.
That would change. So that's a lot of changes.
4 out.
Yeah.
4 in, 4 out.
4 and 4.
But 4 good ins. Alex Neil-Bullen's only missed 1.
Good names.
Soligo's only missed that one because he went back and played.
Knock, was it?
Yeah, just a knee.
Just a knock.
Just a little bit of swelly in the kneeski.
All righty.
He'll be rightsky.
Now, Mitch Georgiades, he's playing his 100th, but my understanding is he won't be wearing a gold number. But
what do you mean a gold number?
Well, I'll tell you why. Scott Pendlebury, he's very close to breaking the AFL games record, right?
Okay.
He's been strategically managed because he played an unbelievable game, winning the medal in the Anzac Day game, right? Played about 93% game time. He's not going to play Hawks because it's a 5-day break, so they're managing
Understand that.
He'll then play against Geelong. I think that's at the G.
Which will draw the record.
Will equal the record. He will not play Sydney and Sydney because the following week they play West Coast at the MCG, where the AFL have approved that he'll be allowed to wear a gold number 10.
Okay. So all his teammates will have a white reverse colour out of the black back of Collingwood, but he'll have a gold one.
He'll have a gold one. And
Pendles wouldn't want that, would he?
That's a
little bit of me.
Just have a listen to the midweek tackle here on this Pendlebury issue.
Well, they're trying to find a way to make this game clear-aired so no other games clash with it. Let's hear the theory.
4:35 and 4:15. The AFL, who does not like moving anything ever, but if it's going to happen once in our lifetime, could it be this game?
Well, I've spoken to the AFL tonight and they tell me that there's no conversations as yet. They can do it if they want to. There's some people at headquarters that feel like it's a little bit of a slippery slope if you start moving games for request. It is a once-in-a-lifetime situation to have the standalone game, move the Geelong game or something like that, or the Port Adelaide Carlton. You might only have to move one.
Andrew Dillon should do everything in his power to turn this into a clean game. All we have to do is push that one game, Geelong, Sydney, into night. Now, Sydney play the next Saturday, so they'd have to wait for a night and they'd have to fly back on Sunday morning, but would still have a 7-day break. Make it happen.
So, Stephen, we're not only wearing a gold number, but we are now shifting everybody else out and around.
A great achievement.
So we can all watch this. Look, it's a magnificent achievement. But and everything I've liked and admired about Scott Pendlebury, he's an incredible player.
Yeah.
He's humble. He just goes about his job without any fuss. He's been an amazing player.
Yeah.
All of this is not him.
No.
I just think, if you want to do anything North Pole to his south, this is it.
This is it.
Oh, I just can't have it at all.
Gold number.
Who wants a gold number? Who likes the idea of the gold number? They're obviously going to sell them.
Yeah.
But, this is a commercial decision. There's no doubt about that. Now, yes, they'll make a quid and all the rest. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me at all.
No, it doesn't.
So give us a call, 8223 0000. Give us your thoughts. Would you like to see your champion wear a gold number for breaking a record?
Incredible stuff. 21 after 4. Your call straight after this. 8223 0000. Get on the line.
Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Bring your home to life from just $1,000 at our famous May Spend and Save. Right now, from just $1,000, you can bring your home to life with beautiful National Tiles for your entire family room and kitchen floors, or all your bathroom walls and floors. Yes, from just $1,000, with all national tiles reduced. Absolutely no exceptions. But you'll have to be quick. So rush into National Tiles or go online now and save. Conditions apply.
No more. Ugh. No more. Try Arbor Vitae Joint Health for the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation. Arbor Vitae is wellness backed by science. A clinical study on Arbor Vitae Joint Health can be viewed at arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au. Now on sale at all Chemist Warehouse stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Zambrero is turning up the feel-good with their new Nourish Plus Bowl and Burrito. Built with nourishing ingredients like fresh kale and cabbage slaw, house-made guac, spiced sesame crunch and tangy pickled onions. Layered with flavour, texture and balance in every bite. Looks great and tastes even better. It's sure to be your new go-to for a limited time only. Zambrero, feel good Mex.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on right now with loads of demo vehicles that must go.
They're absolutely overstocked, so why pay full price when you could drive away with a feature-packed demo model for less?
Plus, they're including 10 years warranty and cap price servicing with any demo car purchased during the sale.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on now. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Hurry, stock won't last.
Tired of scrolling through countless websites to plan your holiday? At locally owned Spark Travel, our travel experts are just a phone call away, eager to hear your needs and craft the perfect getaway tailored just for you. Reach out today for a chat and let's start planning your holiday together. Look for our travel deals in the Sunday Mail. Spark Travel, where your journey begins with a conversation. King William Street, Adelaide. Phone now 88765121, sparktravel.com.au.
Are you struggling with low libido and worried about your prostate health? Caruso's new Saw Palmetto Gummies to the rescue. Caruso Saw Palmetto Gummies are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to promote a healthy libido and support prostate health. So if you want to boost your libido and support your prostate health, try Caruso's deliciously fresh strawberry Saw Palmetto Gummies today. Caruso Saw Palmetto Gummies are vegan, 99% sugar-free and made in Australia with natural colours. Available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes after 4. Major story developing today at the Parafield Airport. Mel Usher is in the 5AA newsroom with the latest.
Good afternoon, guys. We do have an update regarding Parafield Airport and the light plane that came down just after 2 this afternoon on top of the hangar that houses the Aviation Academy. We are now hearing that 2 deaths are being reported from the tragedy this afternoon. A total of 13 people injured. Not sure exactly what the breakdown is between how many were on the plane and how many were in the hangar, but there could have been up to 11 people in the hangar when the plane came down. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau have commenced their investigation into the accident. They have confirmed it was a twin-engine Diamond DA42 aircraft, which is basically a training aircraft. They'll be on the scene tomorrow to conduct a range of evidence-gathering activities, but as you can understand, it does remain very much active there this afternoon, as in all emergency services remain on scene. The whole area is cordoned off, and the advice to anyone in the area is steer clear of the airport precinct. I'll bring you more in the headlines at 4:30.
Thank you, Mel. Let's check your traffic around Adelaide.
Afternoon, Roy's looking really good for the run home today. Simply got a breakdown to look out for at Allgate Freeway down track near Old Mount Barker Road. She's pretty slow going, but outside of that, accident breakdown free. Busy in the usual spots. South Road through Mile End, Tapley till Road Glenelg North, quite sluggish, and no rest for the wicked. Pesky cameras still out. You'll find them Harvey Avenue Nedley and Tusmore Avenue Leabrook. CommBank, trusted by over 1 million Aussie businesses. They're here to help back your goals and ready to lend a hand. Search CommBank Business. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And you can book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranelagh, for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner. It's 26 after 4.
The old gold number, Dirk says, boys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember this many jars of mayo around the Boomer Harvey milestone match, and that's a fair call.
We're talking about the Collingwood Football Club.
Yeah. Well, it's just a bit much for them.
Talking about the Collingwood Football Club.
Bit over the top for my liking. Let's go to Dave at North Haven. G'day, Dave.
Dave.
Timmy Rowey. Keep me on for a minute, Timmy. I just want to say a few things besides the draft, yeah?
Yep.
Remember years ago when Pickett played for North Melbourne, he was smashing everybody out the way and crashing everybody and doing a good job. As soon as he came to Port, they got rid of that. You can't do that no more. Remember Primus was ruling the ruck on everybody?
Yes.
As soon as he's dominating, get rid of that, you know? But anyway, when's the last time Port Adelaide had a father and son, you know, like in the last 10 years? I don't think so we have, yeah?
Meaty?
Yeah, that's a long time ago, mate, and he's not much, you know. But anyway, cut the story short, I want to talk about this week's game too, yeah? Now, listen, Marshall didn't play last week, yeah?
Yep.
And anybody who replaced him, I reckon the team played fantastic. Everybody got to behind the ball. They put their head over the ball. They did what they had to do. Lukosha didn't play as well, and everything's worked out honky-dory, yeah? Now, I don't think he should be a first pick to come straight back in. I'm not sure they've got anybody in reserves that can hold their own and stay, because Adelaide's got a couple of big blokes, so they've got to stay in their line and don't move out the way and go for those contested balls. I reckon myself, Whitlock is doing a better job than Lukosha's did in the last 16, 17 months he's been here, you know? So it's just like this, bro. If you was going to work not in the radio station, yeah. And you was on 400,000 and Timmy's on $1 million, and you're picking up steel girders and stacking them, and Timmy's just watching you and he's getting $1 million, what are you going to say?
I'd say pull your weight, mate. Get on the end of the girder.
Well, that's what I'll say to Marshall. You want to pull your weight in. You've been here 9, 10 years, and you're not still backing in packs and doing the hard things. And the other day you interviewed Webster. He's teaching him how to punch with the left hand or the right hand. If you can't punch after 10 years of football, get rid of him, mate. I reckon, and you worry about the trade and getting points up, get rid of Lukosius, get rid of Marshall, get rid of Lord, bank up a few points, and you're on the right track.
Thanks, Dave. I wouldn't exactly put Marshall straight back in either. I'm with Dave on that one.
Well,
what about you?
I didn't get to retort, but I actually think, you know, I said to Dave, actually, when we spoke, I reckon a few weeks after a game, I said, you watch this Josh Lai kid. He won't deviate. He'll keep his head up. He'll take marks in defence. He'll impress you because he just wants to do everything right, but he's got a lot of courage and a lot of speed. So,
well the other thing is, Aaliyah elevated because he wasn't there.
And
that's Aaliyah's game.
And Jones' best game for the year.
Best game. I would not be putting him back in. There you are. That's just me.
Well, let's go to David out before Park. G'day, Dave.
G'day, Tim. G'day, Rowey. What the gentleman just said stole a bit of my thunder, but I'd like to speak about the selection this week, Tim, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And also, just one quick thing on the Pendlebury. Put the glove. He wears the glove. Why don't you have the gold finger on a glove? So then he can have the gold finger instead of having on his number.
And you can play the James Bond movie.
Yes, gold finger.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it.
Now, Tim.
Yes, sir.
You know, can I just give you, when I first started playing footy, I was a backman in the back pocket. I was coached by a fair few well-known coaches. And the first thing I learned was if you go to a pat, you've got to go strong and you punch 90% of the time. Hard. You know what I mean? You read the play, you stand your mark, and that's what you do as a back pocket. I went down to the forward line, or friends called me the lingerie section. I went down there in my later career and kicked a few goals. Anyway, what I'm saying about Todd's asset is his kicking, and we all know that.
Correct.
He's a great kicker of the ball, and he's very direct when he kicks. He's got very clever skills. He's got good brain, but I can't see him being a backman, Tim, because he doesn't go to a strong contest in the air. He doesn't go through and punch the ball to negate the air contest, the ball in the air. He's not that sort of player. So I don't know if you can bring him back on the side. I don't think he's a back pocket player with that sort of attribute. He's got attributes for his kicking and his mental skill. He knows what he's doing, but I don't think he's got the strength to be a permanent, or not a permanent, but a long-lasting backman for Port Adelaide.
Nah, well said, Dave. I played my entire career in the lingerie section.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
So did you. I've never heard it called that. What's haberdashery? That's same, isn't it?
No, it's where you get material to make jumpers and things. Yeah,
well, that's different.
Yeah, different.
That's the half-forward line haberdashery.
A lot different. Maybe the wing.
Fast forward. Time for the headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 4:30 News headlines. Tragedy north of Adelaide this afternoon. 2 people have reportedly died after a twin-engine plane crashed into a hangar at Parafield Airport just after 2. It went through the roof of the hangar housing the Aviation Academy. People inside the hangar were also hurt. They've been transported to the Ra and Lyle McEwen with a range of injuries. And Parafield is now closed to all air traffic apart from returning flights. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau has commenced an investigation into the crash, and they'll have people on the ground tomorrow. And in sport, Todd Marshall is set to return for Port in Friday's Showdown. He missed the win over Geelong with illness. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner. Book now.
Afternoon, roads are looking too bad today, although the RAA busy with a couple of breakdowns. Dry Creek, you'll find one, the north-south motorway near the Port River Expressway. Another one at Aldgate, freeway down Creek near Old Mount Barker Road. It is slow going right now, South Road, Mile End, getting quite busy. Bolivar Road at Burton with a camera, McGill Road at McGill. The all-electric Cherry E5 with 430 kilometres of range now from just $37,990 drive away. See your Cherry dealer today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 19 overnight, mostly clear tomorrow, 28. Right now it's 26 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
We have some breaking news this afternoon. A plane has crashed through the roof of a hangar at Parafield Airport. Here is some audio from the scanner a short time ago.
We have one plane crashed through the roof of a large hangar, approximately 60 metres by 50 metres.
Stacey Lee, weekday afternoons from 1 p.m.
There are multiple emergency services on scene.
On 5AA, always Adelaide.
MotoGP is coming to Adelaide in 2027.
But South Australia's bike racing moment starts now. ASBK Round 3 hits the Bend, May 1 to 3. Free GA Friday and epic superbike racing all weekend. Get your fix now at thebend.com.au.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. If you've had solar on your roof for 10 years, you would understand the big feed-in tariffs have pretty much disappeared. That's why NRG Solar will tell you the best way forward is to combine your existing or new solar system with battery storage. Storing the excess energy your solar makes during the day to use it at night is a game changer. NRG Solar helps you upgrade smarter with solutions designed to target zero power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
It's the best Beechwood home yet. Now, it's opened. This multi-level Beechwood Beauty and Craigburn Farm is a masterpiece of design, innovation and construction, Rowey. It is a must-look.
Seen it firsthand. I couldn't have been any more impressed, I think is the word. Inspired by the timeless glamour and style of Palm Springs in California, it's aptly named the Caliente.
Oh, yeah.
It's a startlet of a home. It's perched high on the side of a road. They love slopes. They love them. Does Beechwood. It's got endless possibilities, spaces for entertainment inside and out, or you can simply lounge around the fireplace taking in the stunning views.
It's almost like being in a resort. It's that good.
It is
it's that
unbelievable.
Good. The Beechwood Caliente is a home of design for all generations. One thing I took an actual little video of, Rowey, was, you remember in the kitchen, they had what looked like a tiled wall, and then a little remote control, and up it went, and all your spices and that were behind it.
Clever. They've got all the tricks.
It's incredible. Look, the team at Beechwood Homes have gone all out. They can't wait for you to see the Caliente. It's open for inspection Saturday and Sundays, 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, 1 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Sometimes the best deals come at the best time of the year. And right now they have. With Mannix and Fujitsu coming together to bring you massive autumn savings on ducted reverse cycle air conditioning. During April and May, save $1,000 with Mannix, plus up to $500 in Fujitsu cashbacks. That's savings up to $1,500. But it won't last or be repeated. Get your free quote today and get it installed in time for winter. Call 1300 Mannix or go online anytime.
The future of driving is here at Solitaire Volkswagen with the all-electric Volkswagen ID4 and ID5 available now for immediate delivery. Combining cutting-edge technology, effortless performance and sleek design, they're built for a smarter way to move. Experience the next generation of driving today. For April only, purchase a Volkswagen ID5 and receive a complimentary accessory package valued at $1,000. T's and C's apply. Drive electric today at Solitaire Volkswagen, Hawthorn or Prospect.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
23-5 Showdown talk has already begun. Lots of team chat. Simon on the Unique Homestyle Food text line says, Marshall's been great this year. He's an automatic inclusion. He'll come in for Watkins, nothing more certain. And Daniel was down at training. He says, Rowey, don't be surprised if Sid Draper's selected for Showdown and not Dan Curtin. He spent the whole match sim last night in the A's. Have you say 8223 0000. We'll have teams tomorrow.
Well, the AFL again has made it harder for umpires, to do their job. Joining us, and we love him, a friend of show, over 300 AFL games, is Dean Margetts. Dean, welcome.
Rowey, Timmy, always great to be part of the 5AA Sports Show.
Love it.
Thanks,
love
Dean.
it. Now, Dean, can I start here? This is a 3-time premiership coach. I speak of Damien Hardwick, talking about his frustrations with holding the ball.
The holding the ball rules like chook lotto. I sit there and I don't know half the time what's going to happen. We've got a guy that's got an arm pinned. He's waiting for the ball to be called for a stoppage. And the other option is then the guy can dump tackle him. Just blow the whistle. At the end of the day, we're going to get players hurt. So either blow the whistle on a free kick or at least be consistent in your interpretations throughout the whole game. Unless the rule change, let me know. I don't want to get angry. It's Saturday. I want to go home and have a beer and relax on the couch. So, yeah, but let's just fix it.
Now that's a coach that's frustrated. How do we fix this, if ever? What's the answer, Dean?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, Rowey? I think on the weekend we had a bit of a spike in some areas. I don't think it was our best weekend. I mean, if I can just put this to your listeners, the AFL umpiring group, guys, is a bit like the 19th club. They train, they coach, they prepare to the best of their ability, but we have our star umpires, our experienced umpires, our middle-tier umpires, and our new umpires who are less experienced. So sometimes we're going to get some spike in form. And that's probably happened on the weekend where there were some interpretational challenges and some errors. So we've got to acknowledge that sometimes we just don't get it perfectly right. But you're right. When there's coaches, players, media commentators a bit concerned and not sure of the rules, then we've got a bit of a problem. And I think one of the issues we do have is there's not enough education and not enough vision being shared. I think outside of maybe Ray Chamberlain on his shows and maybe myself with some chats that I do, no one's talking about the rules and how they're interpreted. I remember when I was an AFL umpire, guys, and Hayden Kennedy was our coach. Every Monday he did this What's Your Decision? It's about 5 or 6 clips on AFL.com. And it was a really good opportunity for punters to see, okay, I understand now what they're talking about, or here's a free kick which they paid. Now I understand it. We don't have enough. So, of course, when we go to the footy now, there's lots of confusion, and that's not great for our game.
No, well said. Communication's the best. Can I play you another one? This is GM of footy, Greg Swan.
If you take away the ARC issues, most of the feedback we've had from clubs is that the umpiring has been as good as it's been for a long time.
Now, is it just me or he's in La La Land?
It wasn't probably the one that was going to pass the pub test. Of all the weeks, that's probably not the one to roll it out, I don't think. We've got to have a bit of a feel for people. People aren't stupid.
No.
I think saying that may be treated as a bit like that. Look, to Swanee's credit, he did come out and acknowledge some errors in the ARC, and we saw that. But maybe sometimes saying it's as good as it's ever been when that week was probably a loss for us. I don't think the umpiring group won the 4 points maybe that weekend. And that's going to happen, as I said before. But I do think it's important for everyone to know with holding the ball, Rowey, there's so many parts to it. There's so many tentacles that umpires have to process. And I know Damien Hardwick gets a bit cranky at times, but the coaches aren't probably the most forthcoming with wanting to know new rules. They're happy to worry about their club and their game plan, which I totally get. But I've always said to many people, the more that clubs know, the more that coaches know, the more that the players can build their umpiring IQ about interpretations, decisions, because too many games these days, guys, are decided by 1 point, 1 kick. So if you can nail a moment, well, by having knowledge, isn't that a better thing for the game?
Oh, absolutely.
Dan, we had a listener on last night, Des, who did a lot of umpiring in his day and also coached in a country league, I think it was. And he said that they used to like to match up umpires that maybe interpreted similar. So you could get consistency on perhaps a holding the ball type thing or holding the man or whatever it might be, because he said they sort of saw the game similarly. Is Is there something in that? Especially with 4 now.
Yeah, probably not. And the reason I say it is because all 45 umpires are getting coached the same message. As I said before, they're no different to the clubs. That's the game plan. That's what we want you to pay. That's where we want you to stand. So they're getting the same message. So it's hard for then coaches to then say, okay, well, I think Timmy's better suited with Dean and Rowey's better suited with Matt Stevie. It's hard to do that. So then what that causes is when you build familiarity with other umpires, when there's an injury or a form lapse and you've got to umpire with another person, there's no synergy. So you've got to be able to get your appointment, get on the plane, get in your car and go and umpire wherever it is, anytime, anywhere type thing, and just deliver the goods. And like I say, on the weekend, maybe we didn't quite get it fully right, but I think overall the umpiring's been okay this year with some of the gaps with some of the new interpretations as well.
One of the ones that frustrated me a few weeks ago, Port played St Kilda, and we had Scott Cambrioli doing special comments, and there was 3 or 4 incidents where the player grabbed the ball and then rammed their head into the tackler. Scott mentioned that that was one that the umpires
We're going to
and
be
the
hot on
AFL
this year
said that
and
they
tweak.
said if they're going to stop that they're going to stop that player barging his head in. And I think young Berry had one of the St Kilda blokes really drill himself into him, and he got a free kick.
Well, the wizard running into
Lockie Jones.
Lockie Jones was a shock.
So Dean, for mine, I don't understand why the AFL would bring that out. Instruct the umpires. You go away, like you said, and you do your game plan, and then the exact opposite happens on several occasions in various weeks. That's a really confusing one for me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the actual the mandate around those issues is if a player elects to drive or dive their head into a stationary opponent, which is like was it Nick Watson into Archie Jones? Remember, guys?
It was. Yes.
Well, that's just either play on if there's no tackle, or if it's actually a tackle, he's elected to use his prior opportunity by dropping his head. He could have handballed, he could have kicked, so they should be holding the ball. So again, we've got some umpires maybe just not processing that right and just making fundamental errors, which causes disdain with the footy community and the club supporters. Absolutely.
Yeah, frustrating.
Well, here's a bouquet. Boy, at the start of the game, they haven't missed. They've thrown it straight up perfectly.
Can I say, though, my one little beef with this, guys, and you may have noticed it in some games, I don't think at times the umpires throw it high enough.
I agree.
I reckon a couple of more metres high. Give the rucks a chance to contest. I reckon it's too low, and sometimes the big guys aren't getting their hands to it. It creates an opportunity for a silly free kick, which is not their fault. It gives the umpire a chance to back out a bit quicker to give yourself some more space for the free kick. So I just like to see it about 6 or 7 metres in the air, give the guys a bit of a crack at it, allows the umpire to get out into the best decision-making possible position we can have.
Dean Margetts, our guest, 300-game AFL umpire. We love him, friend of show, and our resident ump is what we call Dean. Now, Dean, are you allowed to have a sense of feel for the game, a sense of, I don't know, football nous or gut feel for it? I'll give you an example. So if a player runs within the restricted area by 0.01 recurring of a millimetre and a 50-metre penalty is paid, can they err on the side of, let's not pay it?
Too officious?
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Absolutely. I remember Rowan Sawers, who was my coach for a long part of my career, Rowey, he always used to say, sometimes it's applying that footy feel.
Yes.
Does the game want that paid? And I think in the 10-metre protected area, I think what we're saying is if the player is sort of 7, 8, 9, 10, I think that's okay. Anything closer than maybe 5 or 6, well, we can understand that. But we're seeing guys literally running through the area, which is, 9, 10, and we're paying 50. And almost the air comes out of the game, doesn't it? The players drop their shoulders, the coaches blow up on the TV, media commentators get a bit loose. I'm sure, Rowey, you're jumping out of the box when you see it. I've no doubt about that. And then the umpires, are probably going, I wish I hadn't have paid that, but they kind of feel like they have to. So I always find that the most experienced umpires pay the warranted free kicks when they need to be paid, but also some of the free kicks that you don't pay are probably the best decisions that you make in a game, the non-free kicks.
We haven't spoken since umpire number 2 reported Zach Butters for what he believed he heard, and let's just say it ended up a 0-0 draw. The process left both parties down without a shadow of a doubt. No one's pointing fingers. It was a 0-0 draw. Should have the umpire spoken to Zach and tried to sort it out behind the scenes, and I'm not too sure who was at fault there, but more so
post-game or
that post-game.
Yeah.
And I'd love you to comment about that and about the rules about when you reported you can't or whatnot. But then the second part of the question is the optics of him working for Sportsbet. How do you sit? Do you sit comfortably with all of that, Dean?
Okay, there's a bit to unpack there. So let's go back to the incident on the day. Okay, so you've got to understand the umpires are mic'd up. Okay, so probably in that situation, the umpire felt that what he heard, if that gets, I guess, put through the mics and goes through our coaches, if I don't do something, I might fault possibly. Look, to be honest, I've been called way worse than that on a footy field, and I've been called way worse than over the fence at Adelaide Oval. Thank you to Adelaide and Port Adelaide supporters. But my point is, if a comment like that, and I'm not trying to sort of lay blame here, but possibly a simple turn to Zach and say, hey, mate, did you want to repeat that, or are we okay? And it could have just stopped it. If you have to pay a free kick, maybe, but to go back and then say you're on report with a bit of, a bit of anger and a bit of hostility didn't look right for me from an optics point of view. And I like I say, I'm not trying to apportion blame. I'm just giving you my personal opinion.
No, you're calling it as you see it. Well done.
And I just feel like some of the senior blokes probably wouldn't have even batted an eyelid to that, other than, hey, Jack, did you want to repeat that, or are we okay, mate? And he would have walked off and not another word was spoken. So I think sometimes, as I said, there's the law book and there's the applying of it, but then there's that, hang on a minute, let's give sometimes the players a chance to modify their behaviour. Let's give them a chance to maybe go, hey, look, no, sorry, mate, I should have said that. So post-game, when that incident happens, when Zach wants to approach the umpire, look, to the umpire's credit, he can't talk. Once there's a report, you can't go and have mates rate chats, because what would happen is we're only friends until we're not, and then in the tribunal, what would happen would be, but the umpire told me this after the game. So you can't have that conversation. But if there was no report, I would absolutely welcome a player to come up and apologise to me after the game. I'll say, well, good mate, shake hands, we move on. I remember a game I did many years ago where Tom Hawkins actually swiped his hand at me and made contact with my arm. Now, at the time, I didn't think much of it. He apologised after the game. But then the next day, it's on the back page of the Herald Sun, and it was a big story because umpire contact. But for me on the day, it didn't feel like that. But I understand the optics for all umpires in the country about being contacted by a player. So, again, we've all got our own tipping points and our own thresholds. Mine might be longer than others, but certainly I think there are times where the communication between player and umpire is really important. And I did hear from the Association of the Umpires out they want to stop the chat between umpires. I'm not so sure I agree with that. A player should be able to come and ask an umpire for clarity, just for confirmation, or even just to seek a thought potentially when the time's right. And when it's done in a respectful way, and as you know, guys, umpires go to Adelaide training, umpires go to Port Adelaide training regularly. So those relationships are built and formed. So we don't want to cut that off. We should encourage dialogue and hear some funny chats. I'm sure I would have had some chats with players. I'm sure Ray Chamberlain would have had some chats. So we should embrace that a bit more, I think. That's my view.
Hey, Dan, we've run out of time, but just a quick one from Baz on the text. Would you make umpires full-time, yes or no?
No.
Yep.
And I can expand on that on another conversation. I'll give you a reason for that. But I don't think it makes us a better umpire if we're sitting in front of a computer screen all day and watching vision and running laps.
Yep.
I think you need some balance for perspective, and then you don't lose your love for the game would be my answer to that.
Well said, Dean. That was outstanding as always.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, Scott. Hey, just before I go, I know you did tight for time, but can I just say, on behalf, I guess, of myself and all the umpires over here in Perth, we just want to send a special our thoughts to the Jordan Dawson family. What happened last week was terrible, and I obviously knew Jordan through his playing days in Sydney and Adelaide, and that embrace with him and Joel Selwood on the weekend really hit home for me because I knew Adam and Scott Stewart very well in Perth. So from all the umpires over here in Perth, to Jordan, to the Adelaide Footy Club, we're thinking of you, and it's a really tough time, but your thoughts are with us all.
Yeah,
well done,
said.
Dean.
Thank you, Dean. Dean Margetts, our guest.
Let's get to your traffic. It's 10 minutes to 5, and you can book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella, for Mother's Day. They have breakfast, lunch and dinner.
At Dry Creek, a breakdown, the north-south motorway near the Port River Expressway. Another breakdown at Aldgate. That's on the freeway down track near Old Mount Barker Road. Slow going at the moment, South Road through Hilton. Quite busy, Brighton Road, Glenelg East. Look out for those works at West Hindmarsh. They're slow at the moment, South Road near Hindmarsh Avenue. Camera, Winifred Avenue at South Plimpton. Get an MGenius deal on the MGHS plug-in super hybrid SUV now with $6,000 cash back. Decency apply. See your MG dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Unmissable April offers at BWS. Get a bottle of Annie's Lane Shiraz for $11. Save $5. Hurry, offer ends Tuesday. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise.
Mark Boris is the mentor who keeps choosing stories over spreadsheets and keeps feeding those big ideas. So keep good company with the Mentor podcast.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to Weech's Barossa Valley egg noodles.
Weech's Noodles use the freshest, best quality Barossa eggs across their handmade range. They've been doing it for over 90 years. From fine ribbon and string noodles to chili, black pepper, spelt ribbon and more. Look for Weech's quality range of Barossa Valley egg noodles in the pasta section of your supermarket. 90 years in the making, devoured in minutes.
Audio. It's more powerful than you think. What you hear can take you far from here. It can move you to dance, to run, to tears. It's all in your ears. For advertising with the power to make your whole campaign work harder, start with commercial radio and audio, where brands are heard. CRA.au.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here. An unfolding emergency at Parafield Airport. A light plane ditches into a hangar, explodes into flames. 2 people are dead and a number of others have suffered serious burns. Live to the scene at 6.
Life seems to find its rhythm in the Grampians and Wimmera Valley. Hikes and walks where you finally take a breath. Towns made for slow wandering. Eateries and stays that feel good for the soul. Then come the sunsets, the kind that slow you right down. And dark skies where the stars feel within reach. Feels like exactly what you need. Just like the stars, a stay here is closer than you might think. Visit grampians.com.au.
With Let's Get Care, get more control to design your day, get more choice to pick the support that suits you, and get $1,000 more value for your supported home package when you join today. Search Let's Get Care. Ends June 30. New customers only. T's and C's apply.
A new way to drive without losing what you love. Meet the ID range of electric vehicles at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Everything you love about Volkswagen, now fully electric. From spacious SUVs to the return of the iconic van. With up to 500 kilometres of range, they're not just for the daily commute, they're built for the open road. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. EV made easy. Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's a long run game. You don't want to be carrying something early stages of the year. So for me, it was good to have a week off. It's not something I enjoy doing, watching on the TV, but I think it'll help me in the long run. And yeah, looking forward to crossing the white line Friday night.
Alex Neil Bullen at 6 minutes to 5. Jimmy Bartel to join us at 5 o'clock.
Just a quick text from Jonathan just saying, one of the best interviews I've ever heard. What a great insight from an umpire great. Very refreshing and well spoken.
Jonathan, he's the best. That's why we go to him regularly. He's ours.
Excellent result too. Port Lincoln, let's go, Luke. Hello, Luke.
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
All right.
Hey, just quickly, we penalised the defender for getting too close with that 10-metre rule. If they really wanted to open the game up, why not find a better balance between the offence and defence? If a offensive player was to run through that same zone, why not call play on rather than just call them a 50? You'll stop people from trying to grab an unfair advantage, but you'll also stop teams from defending through overloading numbers. If you potentially to call play on, obviously you still want the overlap run, etc. But maybe 5 metres instead of 10 metres is your boundary, and find a better balance between offence and defence there.
No, good point, Luke. Don't mind that at all. 4:55. What I mentioned this, having run a number of New York marathons, Timmy, me.
Well, I think 5.
I'm a marathoner.
5 times.
I never thought I'd live to see the day an athlete would run a marathon, which is 42.2 kilometres or 26 miles in under 2 hours. I think it's probably the last big bastion of sport. We've been waiting for this for
years. Well, they have likened it back in the day to the 4-minute mile.
Correct, Wait, all clear. Well, Kenyan Sebastian Sarway, he ran a 1:59 and 30 seconds London Marathon. It was unbelievable.
It's Sarway versus the clock. He's going to do it. We are going to see a legal sub-2-hour marathon to Sebastian Sarway. It's the world record by nearly a minute. Wow.
They said it couldn't be done. Absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like that.
I'm so happy today in London, running a world record. I'm so excited. I didn't believe, but I was well prepared, and the training I've done, the results have come now.
The most tested athlete in the world, and he does it himself because a lot of Kenyans have been banned for
doping and the like.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Put it in perspective. Steve Monaghetti. Now, we love Steve. He's probably one of our great marathon runners. When he won the Berlin Marathon in 1990 in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 16 seconds, it was only a minute and a half off the then world record.
Wow.
Okay. He was the 16th fastest marathon ever at that time.
Wow.
16th fastest. I mean, it's quite unbelievable.
What are we talking, 36 years ago?
Correct. If he was to run that time in the London Marathon yesterday, he wouldn't have finished in the top 100.
Wow. How much improvement is that?
That's what I'm saying.
It's incredible. Did you see they're arguing over the shoes?
And it's more than the Adidas boots.
Well, Adidas and Nike are in a war, apparently, a bit over the
cushioning.
Shoe. Yeah, exactly. So that is phenomenal. I think I read somewhere too that of the top 10 times or something, 7 of them are in Berlin.
They were.
So it must be a reasonably flat track.
A fast track. Well, this was London. Chicago's a very hilly one.
Yeah.
New York's a bit the same. But
that's out the
to Seb, mate, you are unbelievable. I don't think there'll be a bigger or better sporting achievement this calendar year than that.
Fair call.
Sebastian Sarway, what a fantastic achievement. Hey, it's almost 5 o'clock news time. Jimmy Bartel coming up next, but Mel Usher has all the latest from the Parafield Airport plane crash.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Set sail on an unforgettable Japan journey with Princess and Phil Hoffman Travel. Cruise round trip from Tokyo, visiting Hokkaido, Nagasaki and more with breathtaking views of Mount Fuji. Enjoy 10 nights aboard the stunning Diamond Princess with main meals and Broadway-style entertainment included. From $4,999 per person twin share, including return international flights from Adelaide and your Princess Plus package with drinks and Wi-Fi included. Depart September 4, 2026. T's and C's apply. pht.com.au.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because conferences and events sound different with Discovery Events. With modern facilities, standout catering and accommodation in 2 premier locations in South Australia, Adelaide Hills and Victor Harbour. Sound great? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
Aren't you sick of it? Painters who don't show up, painters who are unreliable, painters who talk a big game but can't deliver. No licence, no insurance, no accountability. At Adelaide Commercial Painters, we're a father and son's business built on trust, reliability and real experience. We show up, we do it right, and we stand by our work. So stop settling for less. Call Adelaide Commercial and Residential Painters today and see the difference for yourself.
All summer, your pool's been working overtime, like a teenager non-stop snacking. Now, it's time to put it to sleep. Your pool, that is. Head to the Pool Supermarket at O'Halloran Hill, Adelaide's mega pool store, and pick up a Winterizer liquid pack. It's the best way to put your pool to sleep for winter. And right now, mention you're a 5AA listener and you'll pay just $50, normally $111. Pool Supermarket, South Road, O'Halloran Hill. poolsupermarket.com.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 19 overnight, mostly clear tomorrow and 28. With the 5 o'clock news, good evening, I'm Mel Usher.
Nurse Next Door, offering caregiving and nursing services to help you to stay at home. nursenextdoor.com.au.
We have one plane crashed through the roof of a large hangar.
Tragedy at Parafield Airport this afternoon. 2 people are dead and 11 have been taken to hospital after a twin-engine aircraft lost control and slammed into the hangar which houses the Aviation Academy just after 2. The impact sparking a fire which saw black smoke blanket the area. The injured have been taken to the RA and Lyle McEwen. The Premier has been briefed on the incident and says his thoughts are with the families and loved ones of those who've passed away and everyone affected by this devastating event. Emergency services remain at the scene and the Australian Transport Safety Bureau will have investigators on the ground tomorrow. A person remains in a critical condition in hospital after last night's inferno in Harndorf. The blaze gutted the Mustard Seed restaurant in the town's main street, leaving a multi-million-dollar damage bill. Fire Corps investigators and Mount Barker CIB detectives attended the scene and investigations are continuing. They'd like to speak to anyone who saw any suspicious activity in the area or who may have CCTV or dashcam footage. Contact can be made via Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. A Westlakes mother who faked her son's cancer to raise money has been sent to jail. 45-year-old Michelle Bodzar fooled her husband and community into believing the 6-year-old had eye cancer, even shaving his head and eyebrows and putting him in a wheelchair. The judge slammed her as attention-seeking and cruel and manipulative, sentencing her to at least 2 years and 4 months in jail. Her husband Ben Miller spoke outside court.
No sentence can ever justify what was done to my children.
The man accused of killing WA Labor figure Tim Picton, brother of SA Minister Chris Picton, has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter. Ronan Fitzgerald reports from Perth.
Brodie Jake Dewar is accused of punching Tim Picton outside Paramount nightclub in December, causing the 36-year-old to be placed in a coma before dying 3 weeks later. The 20-year-old claims Mr. Picton repeatedly approached his cousin and tried to dance with her inside the club, leading to a confrontation outside. The defence claims the assault, which was captured on CCTV, was an act of self-defence, saying Mr. Picton acted with belligerence and self-entitlement. Mr. Dewar is due to face court again next month.
The opposition argues government spending is to blame for Australia's inflation problem rather than international events. Latest data shows inflation climbed to a near 3-year high of 4.6% over the year to March. The numbers reveal a surge in fuel prices as a result of the Iran war, mainly driving the increase. But Shadow Treasurer Tim Wilson argues there's more to it than that.
Until the government gets inflation under control by stopping the spending, continuing to borrow from the future to spend today, Australians will continue to feel the pressure from household inflation at the supermarket.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gazman Flash Sale event is on now. Up to 50% off selected styles. Shop in store or online now.
Both Port and the Crows have had a quiet day ahead of Friday night showdown. Todd Marshall is set to return for the local derby. He missed the win over Geelong with illness. Well, the AFL has confirmed a significant shake-up of its draft system from 2026 onwards, tightening access to elite junior talent while introducing a new compensation mechanism aimed to protect struggling clubs. Carlton and Port Adelaide had lobbied for the changes to be pushed back until 2027. Port Adelaide Chairman David Koch slamming the decision.
To change the rules so dramatically like this and bring them in just months before the draft rather than like the NFL do and, you know, major sporting organisations around the world, they ease them in over a year or over 2 or 3 years. We just bring them in, bang.
Live golfers concerned about the Breakaway League's future have reportedly held talks with the DP World Tour. It follows the postponement of Liv's New Orleans event in June. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner. Book now.
Afternoon, roads are looking too bad for the run home today. Relatively light traffic for this time of night. Do have a breakdown to look out for Trott Park, Southern Expressway to Majors Road. It is busy. South Road to Karata Park at the Anzac Highway intersection and starting to build at the moment Unley Road at the Greenhill Road intersection. Camera the Savo, Everard Avenue, Keswick. CommBank. Get fast loan approvals from Australia's largest home lender. Search CommBank Home Loan Specialist. Credit approval, eligibility and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 19 overnight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 28. Friday, partly cloudy, 29. Saturday, showers and 26. Right now, it's 24 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Braglis. Tonight, jail for an Adelaide mum who faked her son's cancer for donations. His dad speaks for the first time. Firefight in the Adelaide Hills. An historic Hahndorf restaurant burns. Inflation at a 3-year high. Pressure now on for a third rate rise next week. Plus the new Alzheimer's drug that cleared brain plaque in 6 months. 9 News. Your news. 9 at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Is your lack of energy and intimacy in the bedroom affecting your love life? Caruso's new Maca Gummies to the rescue. Traditionally used in Western herbal medicine, Caruso's Maca Gummies support a healthy libido and maintain your energy levels. So if you're ready to feel energised and to reignite the passion in the bedroom, try Caruso's deliciously fresh raspberry-flavoured Maca Gummies today. Caruso's Maca Gummies are vegan, 99% sugar-free and made in Australia with natural colours. Available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Interest rate rises have created uncertainty for some buyers and sellers, but demand continues to outweigh supply. Stock levels are currently sitting around 26% below the 5-year average, keeping competition strong. In a market like this, the right advice matters. You need an agent who understands the data and knows how to guide you to a successful result. With over 40 years of experience, Toop and Toop knows how to maximise your outcome. Visit toop.com.au.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. Adelaide's only local sports show. The 5AA Sports Show.
Still to come, Jimmy Bartel taking aim at AFL House in the state of the game. Where are they now with inaugural Crow David Marshall? We'll find out where South Australia stacks up in the top 100 golf course rankings, and we'll take your calls. Get involved with the show.
Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes after 5 on this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll keep taking your calls in the next hour or so. And thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. They are SA family owned and operated since 1980. It's time to welcome in Jimmy.
Bartel check signs it brilliantly.
He can do it all, James Bartel.
He's my brother, man.
Jimmy Bartel on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, each and every week, thanks to Statesman Windows. Jimmy, welcome. First of all, mate, Port Geelong, did that surprise you?
Well, geez, off the back of Port's effort against Hawthorn, I think we're all just curious whether that was one out of the box. But no, it's a good pattern of play. And I tell you what, you guys need me to get on and tip the opposition by 300 plus points, because every time I very tongue-in-cheek do that, they perform. But from a football point of view, what's really impressing me the most about Port Adelaide is you're really only playing with one key defender, with Lear, and he likes to zone off. And I'm loving Lockie Jones's form down back at different stages. He had Dangerfield, he had Cameron, he had the most dangerous. And the way that they're setting up behind the ball is that they're a bit quicker at ground level. And I reckon in the last 2 years in the back line, if the ball hit the deck inside the opposition's forward 50, was a goal because they were pretty cumbersome. So they've been able to address that. But what it's actually allowing them to do is, especially live, which you guys get to see them there at the Adelaide Oval, they set the ground up really quickly behind the footy, which is giving them opportunities to defend as a team, but then rebound off the back of it. So well done to Josh Carr already. Like, the behind the goals footage can be pretty daunting viewing for a player, but I think it looked pretty good for Port Adelaide at the moment.
Yeah, it was a surprising win, and I thought they're trying to follow what the instructions are. They seem to be overzealous at times and make a lot of mistakes and the like, but you can't knock endeavour.
No, not at all, and that's half the battle, and that's the art of coaching, isn't it? Like, it's going to be a 30-week season once you stretch it out, buys and all the stupidity that goes on with the fixturing, but you can't, play the Rocky movie as you think, every single week. So you've got to get them to buy in, and there's got to be a bit of system and structure. But if you can get players naturally motivating themselves and the endeavour and seeing that there's opportunities to keep playing AFL footy just by playing the way Josh Carr and the Port Adelaide coaches want them to, well, you get them to buy into system, and that's where you can fast-track your development as a team.
We'll move to the Crows. It was a disappointing loss, but they lost the same way as they did in the finals, with an impotent, flaccid midfield that lacks any sort of libido, speed or class.
What time is this going to air with some of those references?
I don't know what any of those words mean, but I was told to use them with you, Jimmy.
Cheers. You're not doing any cancelling at the moment, Rowey? I'm a bit concerned with some of that. No, I think their big issue, and I think we've highlighted, is they've got some really talented players for the midfield, but it's midfield depth, but that means, like, who else supports it from outside your starting centre square group? And, they're hopeful, of course, their high draft pick Draper comes on a bit quicker, and can you get another half forward up around the mix? And that's how some other teams get the cover with their midfield. It's what happens around the square, and I'm talking about the half forwards, wings and half backs, but they're just getting exposed a little bit in that. We know it's a good mix with Rochelle and Rankin, but you can't just always solely rely on those guys to be your most dangerous small and mid-sized players, but then also your most proactive through the midfield. So it's always about striking the balance. I think clearly the big takeaway for the Crows is how incredible Jordan Dawson was. The resilience to front up, but then the performance to back it. I think somewhere for all the data nerds out there, I think it was his second highest rated game he's ever played, and that was just extraordinary. So, look, for me, it goes back to the early rounds. It's them striking the balance of, yes, they learnt their lessons from big games and finals, but they haven't got the tempo of the game right, and when to go fast, when to possess it, and it feels like it's caught in between. And who's the other one apart from Wayne Miller coming off the half-back line or coming from the back half to get that flow on the game? So it still looks like a work in progress.
Yeah, you've nailed it. They've got the speed of the game with the modes wrong. They've been tinkering with that over summer, and they need to get it right for the showdown. That's this Friday. Crows on the rebound. Port's last 7 quarters have been super impressive. How do you see that pan out, Jimmy?
I think if we went back 4 or 5 weeks, we think it's Crows by how many. This is a genuine coin flip, and again, being a showdown. Maybe I'm still falling into last year, that winning so many games last year, the Crows, and Rowey, you keep waiting for it just to flick, and I'm only tipping the Crows, and that's more out of optimism that they will turn into the Crows of the midpoint last year. So I'm tipping the Crows, but only just. It'll probably come down to another goal umpiring decision to the left of screen.
Oh, no.
No. Please don't say
not
that.
Not listening.
Yeah,
well, there's no arc now. They can't.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They had it, now they don't.
Well, once play goes on. Now, honestly, though, Jimmy, we go right back to the Keys moment. I'm not sure that we've solved that issue. I'm not sure that we've got any further, where if that happened again this weekend, that we would get a different result.
No, Luke Beveridge did an incredibly impressive press conference today, and it's probably something you guys might want to play for the listeners. He couldn't have articulated any better. It's just like we create rules and different elements to our game off the exception and not the rule, like where there hasn't been a consistent amount of data or examples that actually go, you know what, we need to change this. It's a one-off, and we go, let's change it, and they scream. But then what they do is, then they add another rule or another thing on top of that. And as they, that famous speech Packer gave regarding avoiding tax and people like that, you shouldn't bring in a law unless you bring one back the other way. And they just tie themselves up in knots. And I often say, just open the windows up at head office, just take a deep breath, go, right, do we actually need to change something, or should we just punish or actually deal with the issue we've got properly at the time instead of making a rule? And then if you think you need to change it, just keep it simple. Like, you don't need to overcomplicate things and tie yourselves in knots.
Well, that's one of the issues with last disposal out of bounds. There's been a few complaints about that in the last couple of weeks. And I'm going, just watch the Sanford. They've been doing it for 9 years. It's the full length of the oval. And honestly, there has never been a controversy.
If in doubt, what do they do, Timmy?
They just throw it in.
Just throw it in.
It's like, oh, well, can't agree. Yeah, all right, throw it in, bang. And everybody's happy.
There's errors and mistakes in the game, and we're looking for a perfect outcome every single time in a game that is random. And you've got rules that actually then require umpires to have their own individual interpretation.
How did you see Greg Swan coming out and addressing those issues?
It was okay. At first I thought, this is pretty cool of Greg by having the sunnies on, but it was those type of glasses that, that transition with the light. So I thought, that's okay. But it's good that he spoke. It's good that he admitted he made a mistake. I think that's what we've been asking for the last couple of years. Front the media a bit more. I think it should happen more often. Sometimes you can just say, look, it happened. We made a mistake and we'll look to improve it. Full stop.
Yeah. Well, I reckon he had a propeller on his head, or on a hat that was on his head. To think that the umpires have never been better, Jimmy, ever.
Oh, geez, are you kidding me? Was that a note from the PR team right at the end of it?
Well, that sounded like Andrew Dillon. Remember, he said the exact same. That's why I said
it didn't work.
That's why the statement can be, yes, there's errors and mistakes. We're constantly looking to improve. There's errors and mistakes across the whole entire industry, from commentators, coaches, players, and as we just highlighted, umpires. Full stop.
Yeah. Hey, one last one, and Timmy's hot on this because we had Andrew Dillon on gather round, and he tried to pin him against the wall, but he wiggled out of it. The changes to the draft. I've only just read the AFL media release. You need A, it's war and peace. B, I can't make heads or tails of it. There's that many variations of things that can happen if you're in the top 5, the bottom 5 percentages and whatnot. Oh, my goodness. And they have brought in a rule, that's what it is, clearly with full knowledge, this is the AFL, to disadvantage certain clubs, and we can name them, Carlton, Port and Essendon. I thought the AFL's agenda was never to bring in a rule that ever disadvantages one club over another. Well, they've broken that rule right now.
Well, the thing I don't understand is why you're bringing it in immediately when then you just, in the last 18 months, you allow clubs to trade 3 years into advance when you still didn't have this proposal on the table. So clubs would have made their decisions off the fact that, well, they didn't have the framework, which have now just been highlighted. So they've gone and actually done trades and deals right now without the knowledge. So you've actually screwed those clubs, and I'm not just talking about the 3 that you highlighted as well. So even when, like, Sydney were doing the deal with Curnow and then the Hawks trying to do the deal with the Bombers, trying to get merit, they were doing deals thinking, well, those picks are what those picks are and we don't have these new rules in place. The obvious thing to do is actually, as they call it, grandfather to Tassie, because you actually don't want to weaken clubs leading up to Tasmania, because the evidence is on the table. They're using evidence, but they've ignored the evidence of teams when they were poor and didn't make, I guess, any moves regarding list decisions, and that includes drafting and father-sons and all that sort of stuff, in the lead-up to Gold Coast and the Giants coming in, remained poor for an extended 5-year period. So what you've actually done is potentially, and I hope not for those 3 clubs, there is potential that the clubs at the bottom now, because of these changes, will remain longer because Tassie is going to dominate the draft.
Yeah, it's not the easiest. Of course they will. It's not rocket science. Yeah.
The easiest fix would have said, these are coming in, but this will be post Tassie's 2 drafts, or we'll do it when Tassie's first draft, because we don't want to absolutely handicap you leading into a period of time where you'll be handicapped at the draft anyway, because Tassie's getting a boatload of picks.
Well, wouldn't that make sense? Jimmy, you make way too much sense for, well, I'd say anything in the AFL at the moment, mate. Much appreciated. We always love talking to you on a Wednesday, mate.
Guys.
And all the best next week.
Cheers, guys.
Jimmy Bartel, our guest. It's all thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's boutique window company, trusted by the best builders in Adelaide. And just like Jimmy, they are elite performers, consistently delivering at the highest level. Need the best windows? See Statesman Windows.
Thank you, Timmy. It's 19 after 5. Let's check your traffic around Adelaide. You can book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella, for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner.
Afternoon, got a breakdown at Trop Park causing delays outbound on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road. Pretty slow at the moment. Fullerton Road driving in through Dulwich, and also quite busy South Road, Karata Park near Anzac Highway. Sluggish on the freeway for those repair works around Crafers and the Crafers interchange from that truck crash the other week. That'll go for a while still. And got a camera at Raglan Avenue at Edwardstown. Power up Android at Telstra. Trade in to trade up your Android phone today. Trade in powered by Assurant. Eligible device and Telstra service required. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA. This year, the iconic Best of SA Gala also celebrates 50 years of 5AA, and you could be there. Enjoy a delicious 3-course meal, drinks package and entertainment while you rub shoulders with your favourite 5AA presenters. Tickets are available to purchase now at 5AA.com.au. Book yours today.
At Coles, get half price across vitamins on brands like Nature's Way, Blackmores, Swiss and Ultralife. Save in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday. Excludes everyday down and clearance items. Follow the directions for use.
If you're after legendary reliability and safety, get a Toyota forklift. Yep, Toyota is still the world's #1 forklift brand, famous across just about every industry for their reliability and safety. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage. And with great electric options and branches all over the country, find the right Toyota forklift for you at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Tired of scrolling through countless websites to plan your holiday? At locally owned Spark Travel, our travel experts are just a phone call away, eager to hear your needs and craft the perfect getaway tailored just for you. Reach out today for a chat and let's start planning your holiday together. Look for our travel deals in the Sunday Mail. Spark Travel, where your journey begins with a conversation. King William Street, Adelaide. Phone now 88765121, sparktravel.com.au.
Get this, my Bank SA home loan package saves me over $750 a month in interest in year one.
Really?
Yeah, and I got a dedicated home loan specialist.
Oh, nice. How?
Just go to their website and book an appointment with a lender in minutes.
Book your dedicated Bank SA home loan specialist to learn how you could save at banksa.com.au. Credit criteria, terms, conditions, fees, charges and $395 annual package fee apply. Estimated savings in interest based on the Advantage package discount on a $400,000 package standard variable rate home loan.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here. An unfolding emergency at Parafield Airport. A light plane ditches into a hangar, explodes into flames. 2 people are dead and a number of others have suffered serious burns. Live to the scene at 6.
Next time you buy seafood from the deli section of your supermarket, ask them if they know who caught it. Oh, wait, sorry, you can't, because they won't know. Unlike Kirkbride Seafood, they won't have the contact details of the person who caught it, what time it was caught, or where it was caught. I mean, you'd have to care a hell of a lot to go to those sorts of lengths. Lucky for you, Kirkbride Seafood do. Doothie Street, Unley. kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
When you keep Weech's Barossa Valley egg noodles in your food pantry, anything is possible. Make a rich ragu, perfect for stir-fry. Chicken noodle soup. How about chili garlic prawns using Weech's chili egg noodles? With Weech's, anything's possible. 90 years in the making, devoured in minutes. Look for Weech's in the pasta section of your supermarket.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Oh, I just love the energetic and intense atmosphere, sort of the hum of the noise of the crowd. I think that's what makes it such an amazing fixture. It's like a bit of a cauldron out there on the Adelaide Oval, and that's sort of created by both sets of fans. So I'm looking forward to all the Crows fans being there in full voice and bringing that intense atmosphere.
24 after 5, Ben Keys speaking ahead of Showdown 59. We are just 2 nights away.
Well, can't wait. We'll be calling it. Big team too. Timmy and I will be calling. We're going to have Dean Brogan special comments, so too Scotty Campriale.
That's correct.
Cannot wait to be here before we know. Now, this is a suggestion by Damien Barrett, who is a long-time AFL reporter, I think what you call it. I basically laughed my guts out with this idea. I mean, I actually shot a boogie bubble out my nose. I was just in hysterics with this suggestion, and I think he actually believes it.
For about the last 8 to 10 years, I've been suggesting at one stage of this greatest rivalry in the game, I think to grow it even further, just to do what Melanaskis has done with South Australia. Hey, come to our state to watch a game. That could be done from a Victorian perspective and to celebrate it. And again, I know it's easy to shoot it down and the 2 supporting groups of both clubs, what a stupid idea. I get that, but think of the bigger picture. It's to actually make this greatest rivalry greater in my eyes.
What's his colour?
He's got a nickname, Purple.
His nickname's Purple.
Yeah,
so that's
I
his
don't
colour.
know why.
Oh, well, nor do I, but Purple, mate. And from a Victorian's perspective, is everything got to be through a Victorian's perspective? So it'll be even greater if we take our great Showdown to Melbourne. How does he make sense or tales of that?
Not sure. The thing I would say is what would you say? It's a grand suggestion. But we can't even
has no merit.
But we can't even get a Friday night standalone showdown.
That's right.
Let alone go and play it at the MCG where the headquarters is and all the rest of it and expect Victorians to come and enjoy it. They can't even get to watch it. Free to air on a Friday night, standalone.
Well
we
done.
have to share it, and they did it to Sydney last couple of weeks and the like.
Yeah.
Just get us standalone on our own first and get them enjoying the showdowns, and then maybe you might think about transporting it somewhere else. But, come on, please.
No, come on, please. Purple. If that's your name, I don't even know who you are. Purple.
Let's get a standalone first. Get the standalone game first.
This is the worst football call since this one from my mate Scoopy-Doo.
Oh, Carlton have to be premiership favourites. And if anyone tries to tell you down the street that they shouldn't be, they're not following the game properly.
So from that comment...
Where'd they finish?
They've won 5 games.
What?
It's just, well, that's Scoopy-Doo. But it gets worse for old Scoopy-Doo.
Fact check that.
on the well, how many games do you think they've won in the last 2 years? Not a lot. He had this one about Harley Reid, Scoopy.
They're not going to pick him, Mitch. He doesn't want to go there.
That was Harley Reid. They're not going to pick him. He's not going to go there.
Went number one.
Now, that's Scoopy-Doo. Now, purple, is that his colour?
Yeah.
But why would your colour be purple? Yeah. I don't get that. Anyway, purple. You have rivalled Scoopy-Doo with that one, and I think those three are on my podium. 822 300 00.
The last two nailed
a
the
worse
first one.
I did. Well, no, but it's on the podium.
Yeah. Worst footy takes.
Purple's third.
Yeah.
Purple's third behind Scoopy.
Well, out of those three, yes.
Yeah.
He's definitely third.
If anyone can think of any worse, 822 300 00.
Okay.
There you go. Just a bit of
big calls that went wrong.
Big, massive calls that went wrong. Now, I had one actually on the weekend.
I was going to say, Rowey, on this podium.
Hang on. Zach Bailey, Timmy, put that car in reverse. Yeah, but mine are like football ones. These are just ridiculous. Like, mine are like this. Zach Bailey at quarter time, 2 touches. I said to Campo, what's Zach Bailey done? Rowey, 2 touches. I said, well, he's having us. Whatever I said. Well, thunderclouds soon erupted. Before I even opened my mouth, the great Will Goodings, don't say a word. Reverse the curse and all that. From there, he had 28, 3 goals, 4 goal assists, probably top 3 from that moment on.
Yeah.
So I have foot in mouth for those
You're
things.
more a curse. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a curse.
Yeah.
No, well, no, okay,
But we reversed that. We reversed that a while back.
We did.
Yeah, we
reversed the
sort of
curse.
started to, because remember we got up in the Shield. That broke the curse.
It
broke the curse. We got that first Shield.
So name bigger clowns than Purple or Scoopy-Doo. 822 300 00.
All the takes.
Hey?
29 after 5. Next, we're going to speak to a inaugural Crow, David Marshall, in Where Are They Now?
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Political violence very much the subject of discussion in the US at the moment.
David Pendlebury and Will Goodings.
Trump's now survived 3 direct attacks. I mean, this Jimmy Kimmel stuff. Well, for those that haven't heard it, here's what he said.
Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
5AA Breakfast.
That's what passes for comedy.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Can you imagine someone saying something like that in Australia? Well, you wouldn't.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Soft drinks, sport drinks, fruit drinks, energy drinks. The sugar in any sugary drink is sugar your body doesn't need. It can get turned into fat, including toxic fat around your vital organs, which can lead to cancer, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Our bodies work best on water. It's sugar-free, fat-free, and if you get it from the tap, virtually free. Find out more at livelighter.com.au. A message from Preventive Health SA.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the 5:30 News headlines. 2 people are dead after a plane crashed into a hangar at Parafield Airport just after 2 this afternoon. The deceased were on board. Several people in the hangar have been injured. 1 has life-threatening burns, 2 are in a serious condition, 1 has minor injuries, and 6 others are suffering with smoke inhalation. The hangar at Parafield has sustained significant damage. 3 of 5 aircraft in the hangar were also damaged. Pathology and major crash remain on scene at Parafield Airport. The ATSB will arrive tomorrow. And in sport, the AFL has confirmed a significant shake-up of its draft system from 2026 onwards. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner. Book now.
Afternoon, got some solid delays at the moment at Trott Park. There's still a breakdown on the Southern Expressway. Those delays are outbound as you're going up the hill at O'Halloran Hill. Crayford's still pretty slow heading home through there with those works on road damage and barrier damage from that truck crash the other week. Fullerton Road quite busy tonight. South Road quite slow at Mile End with the Cameron McGill Road McGill. Get to the Ford Everest Trend run out and get a 4K fuel card with Everest Trend at participating Ford dealers. See Ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 19 overnight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 28. Right now it's 23 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Why risk it? Honestly, why would you? Paint splatter on your floors, your furniture, your belongings, wrong products, thin coatings, costly mistakes. Why risk it? At ACP, Adelaide Commercial Painters, we take the risk out of painting. Proudly South Australian, 3 generations strong, and we do it right, the first time. So don't risk it. Call Adelaide Commercial and Residential Painters today and get it done properly.
Get an epic deal at Optus. Save $200 on the new iPhone 17e, now only $799 when you pair it with an eligible plan over 36 months. iPhone 17e is value-packed and feature-stacked with a beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display, the fast and capable A19 chip and an all-day battery life. Visit Optus in-store or online for epic value today. And 17 May, 256GB model. Discount forfeited if you cancel your plan. Terms apply.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because conferences and events sound different with Discovery Events. With modern facilities, standout catering and accommodation in 2 premier locations in South Australia, Adelaide Hills and Victor Harbour. Sound great? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
A new way to drive without losing what you love. Meet the ID range of electric vehicles at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Everything you love about Volkswagen, now fully electric. From spacious SUVs to the return of the iconic van. With up to 500 kilometres of range, they're not just for the daily commute, they're built for the open road. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. EV made easy. Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
26 to 6. Keep taking your calls, 8223 0000, $50 Powers voucher for our favourite and best call of the evening. But right now, let's turn our attention to Where Are They Now? All thanks to Walco at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rowey, playing against this bloke, one of the most sublime and highly skilled players I reckon I've ever seen play. Exactly.
Never fumbled.
Never, ever put a foot wrong, I don't reckon. He came from Plympton High, good old Plympton High as a young man. He went on to play at the Glenelg Football Club from 78 to 93. He was a part of the inaugural Crows when they came in 91, played there for 2 seasons. He was the best and fairest at the Bay in 1990. 3 state games, but one of them as captain as well, so how good's that? And premierships in 85 and 86, and a board member of the Adelaide Football Club as well. He's just about done it all. 353 games for the Bays, 26 for Adelaide, 290 goals for the Bays and 14 for the Crows. It's David Marshall. G'day, mate.
Hello, Timmy. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for coming on and doing this.
G'day, Rowey.
I love these little segments. I want to go right back to the beginning, mate. Plympton High and the like. How did you get from Plympton High to the Bay?
Well, we lived in Nova Gardens, which was just off Anzac Highway.
Yep.
and that was actually zoned to West Adelaide.
Ah, right.
So
Well, this is
they
even
had to
more
get a
intriguing.
clearance- Yeah, so they had to actually get a clearance from Westies to play under 17s at the Bay.
Right.
Because Dad obviously played at Glenelg, and obviously I wanted to play at Glenelg, so I had to get a clearance. Yeah.
So there was
it worked out okay.
no such thing as a father-son?
Not back then, no. No, not at all.
Well, another one Dougie Thomas got wrong. He got Mark Micken wrong. Oh, no, he got him right, didn't he? Yeah,
Were you
sorry.
around the Roger Luders era? Because he was...
Yeah.
Yeah, because I reckon Rog... I'm not sure if he was Plimpton. He's Emmanuel, I reckon. I reckon he was Emmanuel.
I think he's Emmanuel. Yeah. For sure.
So when you got to the juniors, you did the whole thing, 17s, 19s into reserves and league. Did it take you long to get through the grades?
Yeah, so I did 1 year of the 17s, then 1 year of 19s, and then I played league and reserves the next year. So, yeah.
Well,
So
I looked at your debut.
Quick rise, but,
I looked at your debut year, 78. John Nichols still coaching?
That's correct.
Big John, the Carlton
Big
legend.
John Nichols.
What was that like, mate?
Interesting. So, being I suppose, a ball player and creator and whatever, and all of a sudden he's saying, "Well, I don't want you to run towards the ball. I want you to run over there out of the way."
He did.
So I thought that's a bit different playing a league game, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting.
Creating space, I think, Timmy. Creating space.
I like that. Leave a hole behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you started off, like, were you a wingman, half forward, on ball? What was sort of, where were they throwing you around?
Well, 10 and a half stone, I think I was, and not very tall. I was just mainly that sort of small forward, I suppose. So I actually was roving with Kimmy Hodgman and Peter McInerney. There you go.
Yes, gee, number 24 and number 25. Yeah, very bloody good players they were. But those early days too, because then after Big Nick, you had Johnny Halbert. What was he like as a coach? Yeah, well, I mean, John was great because he obviously was a pretty good footballer and cricketer, which was sort of my background, and he was, all about skills and quick hands and running and finishing off and doing all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, he was terrific for us and got us to a final. So, but he was a very good coach. And then, obviously the club saw differently and Graham Campbell came in, I think. Yeah, I think you're in the 81-82 grand finals, and then Jack sort of got moved on, and which was a bit harsh.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
Well, let's go to the Cornsey era, 85-86. I look at that Glenelg team, star-studded. You're a big part of that, Marsh. That must have been so exciting to see that young group of, you can name them all from Bone to Sticks through to Tony McGuinness and Tony Hall, and you were a little bit older than them, but you were one of the group that came through. God, they were two good grand final wins.
Well, we had to have a couple of good ones because we certainly had plenty of bad ones.
You did.
Unfortunately, and Timmy knows probably all too well about that as well because he was in the winning team, but good luck to them, and they were too good for us on the day in those years. So, but no, certainly 85-86 was fantastic. I mean, as you guys know, it was great footy back then. It was a bit of a shootout and just, it was just, hard footy. It was skilled footy, but it was just a great high level of football. So to be able to do it back to back, which was terrific because obviously, it sticks for a while, and then he and McGuinness moved on, and no one thought we could do it again, but we did. So it was good, and then we still managed to play in 87, but North got the better of us on that particular day.
Yeah. We'll go to 1990. A lot of people wouldn't realise this is probably your best season as far as winning a best and fairest for Glenelg. It was the year before the Crows, and we'll get to that. But you were runner-up in the McGarry medal.
Funny about that.
To a player that had the best season I've ever seen of anyone in the history of the game in Scotty Hodges.
Yep. No, I think Scotty kicked over 150 goals, didn't
he? Yeah.
So, good. Yes, no, he was a very good player, and, I did come runner-up, correct, but I think there was two or three of us that actually were joint runners-up, but, no, it was a good year, pretty consistent year, and obviously that probably helped get me a Guernsey in the Crows squad to start with, yeah.
Yeah, well, you were aged 30 and 265 days. You made your debut that round one versus Hawthorn. Who approached you? Was it Stud? Was it Knuckles Curly? Did you have to think about it being that age, or you just jumped at it, Marsh?
Mate, when you're 30 years old and someone says, do you want to have a crack at playing AFL footy, it wasn't a hard decision, was it? So I think I probably would have played for nothing. We didn't get paid a lot, but I would have played for nothing anyway. So it was just great to be involved with. I mean, it's pretty much like playing in the state team every week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So, you know, you guys have been there, done that. And, look, it was a challenge, obviously, because, you know, and it was a bit like going into the unknown because we weren't sure what it was going to be, whether we were good enough. But I think because we had a whole lot of guys that had played a heap of state footy, it was, like I said, it was like playing in a state team week in, week out, and we knew that, you know, our good was good enough, but as you know, Rowey, there was a few games that we weren't quite good enough and got belted.
Oh, my word. We had the good with the bad those first few years.
Yeah. In your time before that, though, were you ever spoken to by any clubs from Victoria?
No, not really, mate. I reckon I was always consistently good, but I wasn't a Craig Bradley or a Johnny Platten or a Mark Noley or, you know, Tony McGuinness or guys like that. So they were another level again.
And that's a fair call because they... it's funny, Land Before Time, they only went for the very, very best. And there was only a few that really got approached or went over, did they, in those days? Yeah, well, I mean, probably,
Bone, McIntosh and Aishi were probably three that didn't go that, you know, would have, you know, been stars over there. So, you know, but, I mean, the guys that did go, I mean, Peter Motley obviously went from that time as well. So there were some great players. I mean, that's why our comp was so good. Yeah.
You know, your skill level, left and right, everything that Rowey was just mentioning and the like, how does that get developed? You know, most people say you need 10,000 hours of practice, and when we grew up, that's all we ever did was get hold of the bat and the ball and, you know, kick it up against the wall, you name it. Who sort of helped you develop your skill level? Because I suppose a lot of people wouldn't know if they're younger that nobody really got hold of you and said, okay, this is how you do it, or this is what you do and the like. I mean, most of it was self-taught.
Yeah. I mean, I was probably lucky because, as I said, Dad played footy and we were living down at Mount Gambier at the time, and we had a nice lawn tennis court out the back. So, as you said, you know, every day, every hour of the day or whatever you had or spare time, we're out on the tennis court, kicking a footy around, and obviously, you know, Dad had played at a high level, and he sort of installed that, well, if you're going to play it, you need to be able to use both sides of your body, and then you just kept doing it, and so it just became natural. So probably not quite as natural as Bucky Cunningham, I reckon.
Well, he's probably the best I've seen.
Well, he is, but you'd say hello, left to right foot. But most underrated for Marsh, and people that know him well, and I was his teammate, he was pound for pound the best tackler the Crows had.
Yeah,
you could not get past him. Yeah. Is that a fair comment, Marsh? God, you used to be a good tackler.
Yeah. Look, I probably prided myself on, you know, tackling. I mean, people see me as, you know, skillful wingman, whatever, receiver, but you know, I'm pretty proud of what I was able to achieve in that era of footy where it was tough footy, mate. So if you didn't tackle or stand your ground, well, you wouldn't have made it. And obviously, I ended up playing quite a few games. So I mean, tackling is something that you certainly you had to do, and I suppose when you start and you're always the smallest, you need to learn how to tackle, don't you?
Very good technique.
Just for those listening in, a total of 379 league games to just top that up. You lost the 81-82 finals, but how much joy does 85 bring when you've had those losses? That must have been not just for you personally, your teammates, but back at the Glenelg Oval would have been huge.
Oh yeah, look, it was great for the club. Obviously, I mean, as a player, and you guys know, I think for us, having lost, I think I played in 4 losing ones before I actually won one. So it was probably for us, it was more relief. Or certainly for me, it was.
Yeah.
And then to be able to back it up was fantastic. And I mean, you know, you say to people, I played in 8 grand finals and won 2 and lost 6. But I still played in 8 grand finals. So some players don't get to play in a final. So we're lucky that we, you know, just had a great team and we were consistently good, really good twice, and unfortunately 6 times we weren't good enough. So that's footy.
Some of the characters you played with, here's some of the names I wrote down. Simo, Bone, Freddie, Chiphead, Gibbsy, Max. You had some good nicknames.
Super.
Yeah, super, exactly. You had some good nicknames around the place.
I mean, look, they were just a good group of blokes, and I think, we had success, so it was a bit of fun as well. So, we went out expecting to win every game, as no doubt you guys did as well. But luckily we had, plenty of success along the way, and, they're all a good bunch of blokes. And, I mean, I was probably a little bit, I was older than most of them, so, I had 2 kids at home, and so they were going to Sam's Disco and to the Lenny's Tavern, and I was going home to the kids. So, but that's the way footy was, and, we still catch up. We've got another reunion coming up this year, which is good for 86.
Of course, yes, 40 years.
Premiership, which is great.
40 years.
So, I mean, as you know, everyone goes in their own directions, and some stay in footy and some move on. And but you've always got that connection that you played in that successful era at Glenelg, which was fantastic.
Now, I used to play with a bloke called Rowan Smith, who was a guy that could pick up a table tennis bat and wipe the floor with you, pick up a cricket bat and make 100. Really annoying, quite frankly.
Well, that was David Marshall.
And I'm thinking you might be in the exact same boat. I asked one of your teammates, and he said, "Look, A-grade golfer, played A-grade district cricket for Glenelg, and I think Tony Hall and Freddie might have done the same thing."
Hawley definitely did.
Yeah.
Freddie may have. I'm not too sure. Cause
how did you mix
for a little bloke?
Yeah.
Sorry?
How did you mix all that in?
Well, that's when Jack Halbert came, so he was obviously involved with cricket, footy, and so I sort of only played one year or 2 years where I tried to combine both, but then I was sort of only in and out the first 2 years. And John Halbert said, "Well, okay, if you want to play the first game, you need to do all the pre-season." So we couldn't make the cricket finals that year, so I missed the last game, I think it was, and said, "Well, yeah, that's me done," and concentrated on a bit of pre-season and managed to stay in the league team after that. Yeah.
Well done. An incredible career and a great teammate, no doubt about that. Then on the board for the Crows, that was probably your only out-of-footy playing role, was it, Marsh?
Well, I coached down at Brighton for a couple of years.
Okay.
Because I coached Jordan, or my son Jordan, through, obviously, you guys know pretty well.
Yeah.
So I coached the kids in the under-16s, under-18s for 3 years, I think, and then I did the seniors for a couple of years. So the kids were really, fantastic. They want to learn, and they were great, and we had a bit of success, which was good. So that was good. So I just did that, and obviously I was a selector with Robert Shaw when he was at the Crows, Rowey, if you remember that.
Yeah, well, I try to forget
You probably don't want to remember it, but yeah. And then of late I've been on the Heritage Committee down there, which is now the History and Tradition Committee. So
awesome.
So it's just nice to be involved still in a small way.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you 65 yet?
I'll be 66 this year, mate.
So have you retired?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. I've got a little succession plan in place, which is going well, so that's good. Yeah.
And a member at Glenelg? Golf,
Member
this
at
is?
Glenelg Golf Club?
Yeah,
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So
How often do you get out,
my
mate?
money.
Yeah, right. How often do you get out?
Just every Saturday, mate. So just Saturday comp. So, yeah.
Oh, how
So my practice is on the course.
Are you under 10 handicap still?
Yes. I've slipped out to 5.
Oh, you make me sick.
Slipped out to 5.
I need them all at the moment.
Just as neat as anything.
Incredible.
I'd take him out in the boat, he'd get quota whiting and I'd get none. That's Marshfield.
That is it.
And I'd also get very seasick as well.
Yeah, that's why you don't come out. Mate, an incredible career, an incredible team, mate. One of those ones you can just put on the magnet board and he'll just dial it in week out and week out. As consistent a player as I've ever played with. And as I said, pound for pound, as good a tackler as I've seen. Marsh, thanks for your time. You're a ripper. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Rowey. Thanks, Timmy.
Great stuff. David Marshall,
He's
our
a ripper.
guest, Glenelg and Adelaide Crows champion. He was such a good player that Jack rarely tagged, very rarely. And in the second semi in 1990, Glenelg beat us by 10 points. It was a pretty tight final, but he and Chris McDermott just ran amok. So Jack he pulls the old card out the last minute and he put Bruce Abernathy.
Or did he?
Bruce Abernathy went onto Bone, and Mark Williams tagged David Marshall.
Did he
How's
really?
that? That's respect, isn't it? Yeah. And had to just, that was it. You close him down because he had 30 odd against us in the second semi.
And when he touched it, he was a goal assist. Yeah.
Never waste the ball. So it was incredible.
Wow. Good insight.
Great story. 9 minutes to 6. And, of course, it's SA's biggest cover-up, Walco's mesh pool cover. It keeps leaves and debris out of your pool all year round. And because it's pulled super taut, it never sags and it looks great. So ask Walco about their mesh pool cover today. We'll check your roads around Adelaide at the moment. It's been busy tonight. Book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella, for Mother's Day for breakfast, lunch or dinner.
At Trott Park, a breakdown causing some pretty solid delays on the Southern Expressway. It's near Majors Road. Those delays are going up the hill coming out of Darlington. Pretty slow right now. Fullerton Road at Dulwich, pretty busy as we speak. Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North. And do look out for cameras McGill Road, McGill and Osmond Terrace Norwood tonight. Get an MGenius deal on the MG HS plug-in super hybrid SUV now with $6,000 cash back. T's and C's apply. See your MG dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. Crows big man Riley O'Brien joins Rowey and Timmy G each week on the 5AA Sports Show. Find out what's going on at Westlakes. Thanks to Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens Swear Jar Pledge. Riley O'Brien swears to bring you the latest Crows and AFL news.
Outdoor living is part of the Australian way of life. A quiet coffee in the morning or a backyard barbecue with friends on the weekend. Alpha Industries helps create those spaces to relax and entertain with fully welded verandas, carports, sheds and studios designed to suit your home. From modern curved styles to classic heritage gables, everything is custom built using genuine Australian blue scope steel for strength and durability. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
Hello, this is Curbstone Motors. Sorry, Prius is only on at Hyundai, but we have balloons.
Enjoy great deals without the gimmicks at Hyundai Prius. On now at participating Hyundai dealers. T's and C's and exclusions at hyundai.com.au.
Adelaide, this is the one. Sportsbet Goodwood Day, the grand final of South Australian racing. A day where Morfettville comes alive, both on and off the track. From Club Largo to the CC Giddy Up Club, the day moves from trackside to party. So, lock it in. Get your mates together and don't miss it. World-class racing, trackside energy. A day you don't want to hear about secondhand. General admission, just $30. Sportsbet Goodwood Day, Saturday, May 9. Be there. Gamble responsibly.
This is the toughest military course you could imagine.
Natalie Bassingthwaite.
I'm a singer, I'm an actor. It was terrifying.
Emily Seaborn.
Stuff happens at the Olympics that people don't know.
New SAS starts tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Whether you're running a big project or juggling multiple sites, meetings and deadlines, that's a Kennard's Hire job. From roads, transport and renewables to schools and hospitals, if you're in charge of major infrastructure projects, Kennard's Hire has the capability, solutions and expertise to make the job easy. So when you need the right solution with 24/7 support, that's a Kennard's Hire job.
Hi, Kennard's Hire.
Talk to our experts today.
Kennard's make your job easy. You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
SA. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's where you know your barista by name, and they know yours. Where your fruit and veg shop keeps you smiling with seasonal goodness straight from the farm. And your favourite local spot always comes through with the goods. It's all the things that make us, us. And buying local means $1 spent here stays here. So when you're out and about, look for the state logo and buy SA for SA. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
5 minutes to 6, taking your calls 8223 0000, and also getting you along to the Adelaide Thunderbirds, which is this Saturday night at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. They take on the Queensland Firebirds. You can secure tickets at adelaidethunderbirds.com.au or call in now. A double pass up for grabs, 8223 0055.
Rebel, David Bowie.
Correct. Well done.
How good. Hello, David at St George's.
Rowey, how are you?
Good.
Gentlemen, look, I've just got a quick suggestion about the sending the Showdown to Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should offer to do it, and in exchange, they will send Collingwood to Essendon to Adelaide to play on Anzac Day.
Yeah, not a bad swap.
I think it would be worth making the suggestion just to see the reaction that they would get. Imagine Eddie, he'd go off.
Over his dead body,
Get that
David.
in trade week,
That's
David.
right.
I like it.
Yeah, anyway. Purple,
Nice one.
watercolour. Hello, Simon.
Okay, boys, how you going?
All right, mate.
Good. Great chat with David Marshall. I was a Bay supporter. The number 16, he was very, very skillful on both sides.
Wasn't he?
Classic.
Yeah. Did he also captain SA against
Yes, he did.
WA?
1993.
Yeah. No, just a terrific
He's a
footballer.
ripper.
Yeah. That's not why I called, but it's interesting because I know, Timmy, you asked about whether he got approached by
Other clubs, yeah.
Yeah. And I know he responded by saying, it's more sort of your Motleys and Bradleys and that, but Tony Simon's got approached, and I think he played for Hawthorn for a couple of seasons.
Yeah,
and
I reckon you're right.
Yeah. And I think the reason why Tony didn't succeed that much, he bulked up a lot. Like, he was very light-framed at Glenelg, and I reckon they got him too sort of heavy. But anyway, long story short, I reckon Marshall would have actually gone well with, like a VFL club. Obviously, he ended up going well for the Crows, but anyway, no, it was a great interview. But just a quick one. I know this is slightly old news, but with the Rowan Marshall contentious mark on the weekend, I've heard a lot of commentary about it, and obviously it took a lot of time for the ARC to make a call on that. And I think it depends on which frame you look at as to whether it was a mark or not. But is there a reason why the goal umpire didn't actually ask for a score review because it was so close? Because if that was the case, it wouldn't have been an issue. I wouldn't have thought.
I think the goal umpire, by the naked eye, thought it was over the line.
So the boundary umpire and the goal umpire were both so steadfast in their call in the immediate moment that the mark was taken that it was a behind.
Yeah, and
they
that's
both
why,
signalled
and
straight
that's why
away.
they allowed it to play on.
And why
you
they
know what?
overruled it is
Go
a
with
joke.
that. Hey, quick text, which I didn't mind at all, from Gary. Thank you. Watching the Crows in their first year on TV, a Victorian commentator said David Marshall will go close to Rookie of the Year. Now he's 31 years of age.
He had a great first year.
Sandy Roberts said he's already played over 250 games for Glenelg.
Yeah.
Now, that's how insular the Vics were back in the day, says Gary.
Yeah,
That's
they
a very good call, isn't it?
Just before we go to the 6 o'clock news, if you think your club wastes money, have a listen to this. Melbourne Footy Club, under a new board and now a CEO, Brian Cook, had a whole of club review. From that review, these are the payouts over the last 12 months. So, when you think you waste money, have a listen to this. Simon Goodwin's sack paid out $1 million. Stephen May, $800,000. They should have traded, and they couldn't get a trade. They should have. Clayton Oliver, for until 2030, they're paying $650,000 a season for him because they wanted him out of there. $500,000 now for Paul Guerra. I'd say the Angus Brayshaw one's not their fault, but they have to pay $800,000 a season till 2028. So when you think your club might be going a bit rough or wasting money, that is a lot of brown paper bags, Timmy.
Wow, that is enormous.
One of them can tip your club over with your footy club spending, and this goes on your
soft cap or
your
salary
soft cap. Or your salary cap.
So how much? I'd like to add that up. How much is on the salary and how much is on the
it's
soft?
about 2.4 mil.
That's incredible.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
All right, 6 o'clock news time. Mel Usher with the latest.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
Hi, Brady Bit here from Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right. We can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because conferences and events
sound different with Discovery Events. With modern facilities, standout catering and accommodation in 2 premier locations in South Australia, Adelaide Hills and Victor Harbour. Sound great? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 19 overnight, partly cloudy tomorrow and 28. With the 6 o'clock news, good evening, I'm Mel Usher.
Nurse Next Door, offering caregiving and nursing services to help you to stay at home. nursenextdoor.com.au.
2 people are dead and 10 are in hospital after a plane crash at Parafield Airport. A twin engine slammed into a hangar shortly after takeoff, just after 2 this afternoon. This lady has told Nine what she saw.
I just saw an aeroplane quite a bit wobbly, thought nothing of it. And then not long after that, within seconds, I just saw a plummeting black smoke going everywhere and just ferocious fire that took over the building.
MFS Chief Officer Jeff Swan says it sparked a large blaze.
Firefighters were faced with really thick black smoke, intense flames. These flames were further intensified by a significant amount of fuel that was actually inside the hangar. The aircraft had impacted the fire hydrant system, rendering the sprinkler system out of action, but also causing a lack of water for the firefighters to deal with.
The deceased were on board. The injured were in the hangar. 1 has life-threatening burns, 2 are in a serious condition, and half a dozen are being treated for smoke inhalation. The area will remain cordoned off overnight. The Air Safety Traffic Board will be on scene tomorrow. The airport itself has been closed to all traffic. The Premier has sent his condolences and thoughts to those involved. There have been several aviation incidents this year in South Australia. A learner pilot crashed on takeoff at Parafield in January, while 3 people were killed when their Cessna went into the water off Goolwa in February. A West Lakes mother who lied about her son having cancer has been jailed. Michelle Bodzar tricked her husband and community into believing her 6-year-old son had eye cancer to secure more than $11,000 in donations. She shaved his head, eyebrows and put him in a wheelchair while claiming he was having cancer treatment. The judge slammed her as attention-seeking and cruel and manipulative. 45-year-old Bodzar was sentenced to 4 years and 3 months jail with an on-parole period of 2 years and 4 months, backdated to December 2024. The Harndorf Business and Tourism Association doesn't believe a restaurant destroyed by fire last night will affect visitor numbers to the town. A 120-year-old former house in the main street operating as the Mustard Seed was gutted. 1 person remains in a critical condition in hospital. Some analysts believe another split among Reserve Bank board members could save households from a 3rd interest rate hike. There's concern the RBA may lift rates on the back of new data, which shows a big increase in inflation. At the last meeting, 5 out of the 9 board members voted to raise interest rates. Market watcher Scott Phillips says we could see the opposite at next week's meeting.
But look, he did it last time. Let's wait another 6 weeks and try again in a month and a half's time. That could save us from a rate rise. And I suspect that's kind of the machinations inside the RBA, given how tight last month's vote was.
Roger Sweet, the toy designer who created He-Man, has died at 91. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe debuted in 1982, and it was a big hit with kids around the world. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gazman Flash Sale event is on now. Up to 50% off selected styles. Shop in store or online now.
The countdown to Showdown 59 this Friday night continues. The teams will be released tomorrow. Western Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge says their horror run of injuries will help build resilience within the club. The long injury for the Dogs includes Tim English, who's been out with a knee injury, Tom Liberatore with concussion, and Rory Lobb with a hamstring injury. Beveridge says he's not spending time worrying about it.
It doesn't matter or not whether we've got injuries. We've just, together, we've got to seize the opportunity to improve. It doesn't matter who it is. It's nothing about age, nothing about games experience. It's just, I don't need sympathy. I haven't since I was 5. But it's important that we just keep picking ourselves up.
PSG has defeated Bayern Munich 5-4 in an epic Champions League semi-final opening leg. Arsenal will play Atletico Madrid in the other semi tomorrow morning. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Book now at St Francis Winery, Old Ranella for Mother's Day, breakfast, lunch or dinner. Book now.
Getting busy in quite a few spots for the drive home tonight. Goodwood Road at the Crossroad intersection, South Road slow at Anzac Highway heading in through Karata Park, and Green Hill Road surprisingly busy between Unley Road and Goodwood Road tonight. Look out for works which are slow at the moment. Elizabeth, Phillip Highway near Stockton, Streets with the camera McGill Road, McGill. Saint has helped people navigate complex mental health for 40 years. If you or someone you care for needs free information, recovery support or community connection, visit sane.org today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 19 overnight, partly cloudy tomorrow 28, Friday partly cloudy turn 29, Saturday showers 26. Right now it's 21 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you. I'm Brenton Brackless. Tonight, 2 people killed and multiple injuries after a light plane crashes into a hangar at Parafield Airport. Inflation soars. New predictions for not just a hike next week, but 3 more. And the Crows' young guns set to be unleashed this showdown. Don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 now as soon as you're home.
Tired of scrolling through countless websites to plan your holiday? At locally owned Spark Travel, our travel experts are just a phone call away, eager to hear your needs and craft the perfect getaway tailored just for you. Reach out today for a chat and let's start planning your holiday together. Look for our travel deals in the Sunday Mail. Spark Travel, where your journey begins with a conversation. King William Street, Adelaide. Phone now 88765121, sparktravel.com.au.
When's the best time to install ducted reverse cycle air conditioning? Right now. That's because autumn is the sweet spot. After the summer rush and before the winter demand. And at Mannix, you're sure to get the best deal with up to $1,500 in savings on Fujitsu ducted. Real savings on a trusted brand, but it's only for autumn, only at Mannix. Terms and conditions apply. So don't wait. Call 1300 Mannix for a free in-home or showroom quote or go online anytime.
The global fuel shortage is affecting us all. To keep Australia moving, the government has been working to secure fuel supply and has put in place the 4-level National Fuel Security Plan. We're now at level 2 and we all have our part to play. Simple actions like driving less and finding more efficient ways to use your car will help our supply go further and save fuel for our truckies, farmers and essential services. Every little bit helps. For fuel-saving tips, visit fuelplan.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands. Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. It's 8 minutes after 6. 8223 0000 if you'd like to call into the program, and a $50 Pals voucher for our best caller.
Well, our next guest, I'll tell you what, I'm a little jealous to tell you the truth. Well, I want to. Yeah, I was just thinking I wouldn't mind this either. That's what I was going to ask. So, the managing editor of Australian Golf Digest magazine, Steve Kuipert, joins us. He's just put together the top 100 golf courses in Australia. Steve, please tell me you got to play one round on each hole, on each course.
No, it's not all about me, as much as I kind of wish it was. No, we have a panel of judges that are scattered across the country who do all the heavy lifting for me. I get out and play a few myself, but it's too big a country, too many golf courses to be a one-man job. And, I'm certainly grateful to the panellists across the country who help us out.
Quite a, what would you say, a great gig to be able to do, even if you are just playing a couple of them and the like. But I've always said that when people make lists, they make more people unhappy than they do happy. So when you put this 100 together, no doubt you'll get some feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. We used to joke that the day that the course ranking issue went on sale was a great time to flee to Mallorca, Christopher Skate style. But we probably get less pushback these days, I think, because our process and our methodology is pretty transparent, And, you know, we've got a whole lot of results that we can share with clubs who want more information. And so we tend to not get so many noses out of joint. But golf courses are a lot like art. You know, what one person loves, another person hates. And it's just a good conversation starter as much as anything, and also a great base and a great tool for anybody who's planning their next golf trip.
Good call. Steve, can you give us some of the criteria and KPIs that you sort of do measure the courses against?
Yeah, there's 7 different criteria, and they really focus on design primarily, a little bit of aesthetics, but also the condition of the course as well. But, it's basically done across 7 different criteria that focus on those things.
Awesome.
How many of your top 10 are links courses?
That's a good question, because links is... It's a bit of a manipulated term. We tend to get this term called links style because a true links golf course is on land reclaimed from the sea, which really isn't that many. But a lot of golf courses are designed to be links-like in style. And so you've got courses like Barnbougle in Tasmania and the new 7 Mile Beach course near Hobart, which is in the same kind of mode. But some of the newer courses, and particularly thinking about what's coming up for South Australia with the Cliffs course on Kangaroo Island that will open later this year. And that really stands to make an impression in our ranking in 2 years' time.
Yeah, that was my question. It was designed by Darius Oliver. God, it's unbelievable. I've been out there, Steve, from humble beginnings of just seeing it in a helicopter, looking at the natural landscape and how it is. That's going to go straight to number 1. Steve, here you go. How was Royal Melbourne West number 1? That is the most overrated course in the history of Australian golf.
Well, it's funny you should say that because 2 years ago we demoted it from number 1 for the first time in ages and got a lot of flack for doing so. Wow. The numbers had it firmly back as number 1 this time, which should make most people happy. But yeah, there's a school of thinking that says it's not the greatest golf course we have. But, certainly now, off the back of the Australian Open, even though, because we're able to track our scoring throughout the 2 years, and it was comfortably in front even before last year's Australian Open. But I feel like that tournament kind of had a lot of people, thinking to themselves, look, this is the best we've got. And I'm inclined to agree.
Well, the doctors at Royal Adelaide will be happy because that's top 10. And the lawyers at Kooyonga are going to be really unhappy because that's 21. 11 places higher, Steve. That's not that much better, Royal Adelaide, surely.
It's a really good one, isn't it? I've spent enough time in Adelaide and heard enough stories that there's a real cult following for Kooyonga. There are a lot of people who think it's the better golf course, just as there's a lot of people who think Kingston Heath is better than Royal Melbourne in Melbourne. But I see what they see. I've always liked Kooyonga. I think it's a terrific golf course, and we saw that during the Women's Australian Open last month, and we'll see it again with Liv next year. It's a wonderful tournament golf course, but it's a great golf course as well. But look, I've always had a soft spot for Royal Adelaide because it's just got so many unique features. The train cutting through the course, that amazing third hole. It's a really special place, and Adelaide's, quite frankly, really lucky to have 2 such great golf courses, plus the ever-improving Glenelg and the 2 Grange courses. I mean, those 5 really are, a great sort of centrepiece for Adelaide golf.
Now, how much do you take into equation for the criteria, the natural habitat? What I mean by that, Joe Blake's snakes. There's more snakes at Royal Adelaide than there are at Kooyonga. So that's got to, because if you go out into the gotcha grass, there's a good chance you're going to get bitten. So that's got to be in the criteria, Steve, surely.
You got more chance to get hit by the train.
Well, that's true. And the train.
Maybe we should add a danger criteria.
Correct.
Danger is my business. I got to say, going through the list, I was looking for Adelaide courses and saw quite a few of the names there. And then I came across this one.
We're going to Bonnie Doon.
From the castle. A Bonnie Doon golf course. Is it true?
Oh, absolutely. The great Bonnie Doon Golf Club in Sydney, right near the airport. You're only about 10 minutes from Bonnie Doon when you land in Sydney, and it's a terrific golf course, cut in two by a road. It's sort of on two paddocks, as they call it, and had a major renovation about 10 years ago. And perhaps it's not talked about in quite the same lights as some of the other golf courses around it, but it's a seriously good golf course in Sydney, yeah.
Legendary, of course, made by the castle, no doubt about that. I was wondering, these are obviously the top liners and the like. With Golf Digest, have you ever done something similar with country golf courses?
Yes, we have broken the list up into metro and country before. Right. It's been a while, but it has been done before. And, the way we get our scoring and feedback from our judges, we can break it up by criteria, by state, and, by metro v rural. So, there's a few different ways we can kind of slice and dice the results for sure.
Hey, what about scrapes? What's the best scrapes one? Is that in here? You've got one down here, number 64, Kalgoorlie. They don't have water there, so there's no greens there, is there?
Well, if you've seen the tournament, the WA PGA gets played there every October, and it looks amazing because it's basically strips of green in red dirt.
Yeah.
It's an amazing contrast, and I've been trying to get there for a long, long time and haven't made it, but I really do need to get there because it looks incredible. But scrapes are obviously, a huge part of country golf and particularly in SA, and I consider it probably one of my great failings that I've never actually played a sand scrape golf course, and I need to fix that.
You cannot be the managing editor of Australian Golf Digest without getting emptying the sump of an international truck full of its oil, taking it to a golf course like the Ardrossan one, and go out to the 7th, which is a par 3, and just squirt it all down there and then just scrape it all out and away you go.
Yeah, it's an experience that...
You get it in your gills, you get it in your boots, you get it in your... Every orifice you've got, Steve, you'll get diesel dumped oil.
You're really selling the concept to me,
I think you've done
You'll be lubricated.
You've done a great job as it is, Steve. Look, congratulations. It's a top 100. And you know what it does? It gives you great ideas. For golfers like us, we like to go away and have a trip and the like, and you can pick one or two out around the country and say, go and see that one. It's in the top 100. So, fantastic stuff, Steve. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Steve Kuiper, the managing editor of the Australian Golf Digest.
Timmy, you didn't ask him about Royal Regency.
No, I didn't make the list, sadly.
So public courses.
Yeah.
Now, when North Adelaide gets done, will that make the top 100?
Public courses could
Public courses, scrape. So these are the... I'm off to Kingston Heath.
Yeah, we want some...
These are the hoity-toity, you've got to pay zillions of dollars to be a member.
Years ago, I played Port Broughton. They've got a scrapes course as well.
There you go.
And it's a good experience. I'm with you. It is a good experience.
I've played Ardrossan heaps of times.
Yeah, the other thing I've heard is there is, I think it's 9 holes across the Nullarbor. And
yes,
you got to stop and play.
Yeah, that's it.
Bang, and then you play that hole, and then you get back in the car, and then you drive another 50 mile, and then you get out and play the second, and I love that concept. That's got to be the longest golf course in the world.
It is.
Yeah.
Number 49, Grange West. Now, there'd be a lot of people that say East is better than West. Grange West, number 49.
Yes, there'd be an argument even amongst their own members there. I got to say...
Bonnie Doon would have to be good 3 places ahead of Grange West.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I was, and I'm not having a go here, but that's why I want to know the criteria. Glenelg was 29, which is 20 spots ahead of Grange, which was obviously Live Golf.
That
extraordinary. That's quite
Play the Bonnie Doon one again.
We're going to Bonnie Doon.
Have you driven past Bonnie Doon? It's a nothing joint.
Well,
you know, he skied on his boat. There's a Bonnie Doon River there.
Yeah, well, what about the Serenity?
The Serenity.
How's the Serenity?
That's what it's about.
Wasn't that a great movie? What was the name of that?
That's the castle.
The bloody castle.
1994.
That
legendary.
Was unreal, wasn't it?
Just whip out the Trading Post.
How much does he want for it?
$10. Tell them they're dreaming.
Tell them they're dreaming, jousting sticks. Who was
Classic.
the actor that went on to be great? He's St Kilda supporter.
Eric Banner.
Eric Banner was in it.
Yeah, Eric Banner, yeah. Bloody
Eric bloody Banner.
He played the sort of nerdy boyfriend.
He did.
Of Sophie Lee.
Yeah. Sophie Lee, God, he used to give her a tonguey or two, didn't he?
Oh, no, I don't think he did. No, that's unnecessary.
Oh. He
How about
did.
Twister?
They had a big
Unnecessary.
smooch, Timmy. We're going to Bonnie Doon.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. For the very latest in local footy, tune in to the 5AA Sandful Show each Monday from 6:30pm. Sandful's not just a game, it's a South Aussie ritual. The Host Plus Sandful League, a league of its own.
Hi, Brady Bitt here for Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right, we can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Some things can wait. Tidying the shed, washing the windows, fixing that dripping tap. But your pool? Ignore your pool heading into winter and you'll be paying for it come summer. The Pool Supermarket at O'Halloran Hill will help get your pool ready for winter. Call in now and pick up a Winterizer liquid pack. Mention you're a 5AA listener and you'll pay just $50, normally $111. Put your pool to sleep the right way and save at the Pool Supermarket, South Road, O'Halloran Hill. poolsupermarket.com.au.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because conferences and events sound different with Discovery Events. With modern facilities, standout catering and accommodation in 2 premier locations in South Australia, Adelaide Hills and Victor Harbour. Sound great? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
Adelaide, this is the one. Sportsbet Goodwood Day, the grand final of South Australian racing. A day where Morfettville comes alive, both on and off the track. From Club Largo to the CC Giddy Up Club, the day moves from trackside to party. So, lock it in, get your mates together and don't miss it. World-class racing, trackside energy. A day you don't want to hear about secondhand. General admission, just $30. Sportsbet Goodwood Day, Saturday, May 9. Be there. Gamble responsibly.
A year of roadside assistance is now included with eligible NRMA car insurance policies in South Australia, whether you're a new customer or an existing customer renewing your policy, because that's what a help company would do. Renew your eligible policy or get a quote today at nrma.com.au/SA roadside. SA risk addresses only. Excludes CTP and classic car insurance. Offer may be withdrawn at any time. Always read the PDS. PDS and T&Ds available from NRMA Insurance. 12 months of everyday care roadside assistance provided by National Roads and Motorists Association Limited. Trading as NRMA. Separate and independent from NRMA Insurance.
No more. Ugh. No more. Try Arbor Vitae Joint Health for the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation. Arbor Vitae is wellness backed by science. A clinical study on Arbor Vitae Joint Health can be viewed at arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au. Now on sale at all Chemist Warehouse stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Toolkit Depot's Price Beat Promise means you get low prices on your favourite tool brands. Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 6, taking your calls, 8223 Very shortly, we'll talk umpiring with former umpire himself in the AFL, Dean Margetts.
Sorry, Tim.
Rightio. Hey, actually, we might have somebody that's actually been to Bonnie Doon. Jim.
Yeah, my mate's got a shack there. It's in that's a different Bonnie Doon. The Victorian Bonnie Doon was in the castle.
Correct, it was. And when he said Sydney, it threw me off there a bit.
Yeah, he was tricking you, mate. New South Welshmen, they're pretty pro-Victorian because they come from convicts, don't forget. We were free settlers in this state. We're the only ones in the country that speak the truth.
Good point.
We come from liars.
So what's Bonnie Doon like in Victoria, the one they filmed the movie?
When my mate bought his shack there was pretty much nothing there but a little shop and a servo and a pub. Yeah, right. But now because a lot of people moved out there and work in Melbourne.
Yeah, you drive through it on your way to Mount Buller where you go skiing.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
You blink, you miss it.
Gotcha.
But what I wanted to say, Rowey, you're a big supporter of the Defence Force.
Yep.
What about old Bud Tingwell, who played the QC in the Castle? He flew Spitfires in the water taking photos.
Yeah.
Really?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a true
What
story.
a legend.
And then he appeared in Dunkirk as well with the Chips Rafferty and the rest of them.
Well, I'll be
Good
buggered.
movie
There you
there.
go.
Thank
Great
you.
call, Jim. Well
Hey,
done.
Jim,
Might be in
love
the
your
line
work.
for the $50
Loved him in
pounds
that.
voucher.
Nah,
Jim.
give it to him.
Yeah,
He's
well
got
done,
it in the
Jim.
bag.
Jim's
Jim.
got it. As soon as you mention Bonnie Doon, you win.
Play it again. Tim.
Going to Barney Doon.
I got into work at 2 and Timmy's played that 15,800 times. Timmy, we got 3 of them in. Hello, Scott from Lewiston.
Yeah, g'day, fellas. How are we?
Good, mate.
So I'll just be quick. So Jimmy Bartel, yeah, he was spot on with some of what he was saying earlier. He was awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Crows, this week I've got 5 changes. I reckon Fob comes in for that, the lad who's having trouble with his goal kick and who holds the ball funny. What's his name?
Maley,
Yep.
Finbar.
Fob
Yep.
for him. Curtin, Saligo, Neil Bullen, and I reckon O'Brien's got to come back in. And I was only thinking about it, people making such a big deal about this centre bounce. He's still our best option around the ground. So why don't you just, if you're going to play 2 ruckmen, you send the other lad in every fall up, and then you can get OB a bit more competitive because we kind of get bullied a bit in the ruck. So that's what the other thing to bring up, lads. It's now, with this weekend, it's turning into May. Stanfield Juniors football. The kids still haven't even played a game of football. So we're 2 months into AFL season. 6 weeks ago, the Stanfield started. And yet the kids are still sitting at home twiddling their thumbs and not playing footy. And I cannot believe I'd love to know why. Why do they make the kids start so late?
Which grades?
What's that, mate?
Which grade, Scott? Is it like
I'm
16s,
talking
18s?
Stanfield Juniors from under 16s right down to under 8s.
Wow.
None of them have played a game yet. So they all start this weekend. So I get it. They, the gather round, most comps started the week after gather round. Some started last weekend. I know Spencer Golf and a couple other leagues. But the kids, they still haven't played a game of footy. So, they want everyone to get involved. But why the hell are we making the kids wait so long to start their season? And then not only on top of that, they play 12 games.
Yeah, I don't know whether they need to play more than that, to be honest. And it's a winter sport. You don't want kids playing 22, 24 games.
No. But probably the comps normally in sets of 10, aren't they? So you sort of play 18, maybe.
And here's the other thing.
It does seem a long time.
Volunteers is the big problem for community sport now.
Yeah.
Getting people and mums and dads to give up their time to run the clubs.
I think Gather Round has definitely pushed a lot out.
Probably
as in timing. Yeah. So, thanks, Scott. A lot of good
well
points,
done,
mate.
Scotty boy.
Great work. 27 after 6.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. It's the biggest rivalry in footy as the Crows and the Powers set themselves for another epic showdown. The Crows were